Futures back to the downside here this morning as we get going on a Tuesday. That could be an eventful one. Coming up at 10 o'clock this morning, Fed Chair Powell will testify at the quarterly Senate hearing. We'll get comments, at least. We'll see if anything comes from that as far as what the Fed is planning going ahead. But just noticing right now, the market overall just hitting session lows right now, down about 0.5% here for the NASDAQ. To kick things off, the S&P SPY, not SY, not as bad. So holding that low right now, where the NASDAQ taking it a little bit heavier right now. Let's talk a little bit about some tech news this morning, because there's a lot of it. Tesla, we'll see. I mean, it's trying to hold, just keeping my eye on things right now, trying to hold at the lows from yesterday on the back of this unexpected announcement from Elon regarding OpenAI. Sharif's back in the building.
Hello there.
And to kick things off here this morning, we'll talk about NVIDIA. We'll talk about AI plays in general. Keep in mind, again, 10 o'clock going to be important with Fed Chair Powell. Could be anyways, market moving. But how was your weekend, by the way?
It was really good. It was really good. Good Super Bowl. Obviously, it was a fantastic game. If I guess if you were if you were not a Kansas City Chiefs fan, but yeah, it was good. Everything was nice and tidy. How about yourself?
Same. Yeah, relaxing. I mean, there's a couple of different angles we can take on this morning, I think.
So many.
I mean, very unexpected from Elon yesterday, coming out of nowhere, essentially suggesting that, what was it, 90 whatever billion was going to get it done to take control of OpenAI, when they just raised twice now in the past couple of months at multiples of that. So not sure what he's trying to do here, but a lot of analysts with opinions this morning suggesting that this is just another distraction not needed. Here's Tesla right now. It did actually bounce off that low, but we were testing session lows there, getting below that aftermarket level from yesterday, but will be interesting.
I feel like he's like doing it to belittle Altman. I'm not sure if this was serious. I think they raised at $250 million last round there. So interesting, $97.5 billion here, Brendo. It's for the nonprofit part overseeing the entire company. Altman obviously didn't take it seriously, and they're going back and forth on Twitter. But there's so much to talk about today. We got Shopify in focus today, as they reported in the morning. A bit of a miss there, Brendo. SMCI in focus. Big day for it today. Already down 4%. Coke reported 3.5%. BYD's standardizing their self-driving or their driver assist features. And a $9,000 car converted to US dollars it's going to be included in that. So setting the stage. Yeah, so the other Chinese EV stocks, XPeng, NIO, getting crushed here this morning right now at session lows. You mentioned this one though, there's Coke. Nice look, 3.5% higher for the Warren Buffett favorite. Warren Buffett still picking up more shares of Sirius XM as well, up to about 120 million in a filing. So loading up on Siri for some reason. I mean, I saw an analyst this morning that said it pays a dividend, but you're better in T-bills. Comparing Siri to T-bills, essentially. Still don't get that.
We'll see what Warren's doing. But yeah, guys, Coke, 3.5%. Good morning.
Good morning. Great church, Reef. Yeah, the Siri... I didn't know whether they were going to go with the Sirius satellite thing. See, the lighting on mine doesn't make it look alike. Sharif. There we go. We'll take it.
I didn't realize you guys were wearing the same shirt, kind of. But you're not really.
It's the lighting makes it look less more similar.
Yeah, he has more of the checkered look. Yours is more.
Yeah, we're both in jeans.
Actually,
they're close enough. About as close as they're likely to ever get.
What'd you say, Fabian?
What did he say?
Please adjust my mic.
Oh, see, I didn't get to hear that. Apparently my mic is okay. I don't know. We'll see. Well, Warren Buffett must be speaking to somebody about why he's into Siri, and I'd like to know. I'd love to know it too. But I guess if you like something in value and it keeps going down, like maybe that's sort of the thing here. I don't know. I don't get it. But yeah, it hasn't looked that good. What actually has been bouncing, like Shopify, wow. That's something, because when we sat down after earnings got released, it looked like, oh boy, the missed on rev. It's going to be bad for Shopify, and it's almost green, recovering from 9% down to pretty much flat. So what is dead may not die. Shopify right back into the highs. We'll talk about Tesla. Will it be a distraction? Will it not? Remember, before any of this, Tesla was already in a bit of a downward trend. So you got to be able to respect the fact that it's been in a downtrend since losing the 380. Palantir made a fresh high yesterday. Do not sleep on Uber. Don't forget about Uber. It's been on an absolute tear, going right into prior October resistance here into like this 79 to 80 area. That was a big time runner for 2 days in a row here on Uber, now down 1%.
Shopify actually, they beat on revenues actually, 2.81 billion versus, yeah, and then it says here revenue grew by 26%, straight quarters revenue growth at least 25%, guided year-over-year growth mid-20s percentage rate. Yeah, so yeah, they'll Shopify, there it goes. It is on the sticky note as a #1 trade idea to go long, but right now Shopify has broken out there. So that was a great trade to take that at 114 and change. We really like that name, Shopify. 97.5 right now for Bitcoin as well. We're going to get that back in. And yeah, what a good trade Uber has been. You know what? I want to check Airbnb as well. 77 and change. Wow. All right. We said that we might be selling this thing at 80. We already got, like, because that's probably what Ackman will be doing anyways, right? I mean, these guys buy the stock at good, you know, depressed valuations of good companies. Then when it gets back into this area, it's sell time. And I think you're getting pretty close with Alibaba as well, getting close to a sell time. So there's going to be a lot of traders that accumulated shares down here and then now getting back up to here where we've previously sold. You're going to see there's some tops up here as well. Wow, Alibaba, what a move up for that name as well. So there's been down 3% today, but nice moves so far here today. We had that huge Tesla short yesterday, and as Neil was doing the show, the recap show, we were just printing more and more as this went all the way to the downside, and we actually covered at 348 yesterday in the after hours. So that was a great trade there as Tesla just continued to fall down, and we had this short all day yesterday. We just didn't get it until right into there once we started making some money. We had the short early, gave it up, then brought it back in. Tesla yesterday was a huge trade at the end of the day, about $7 there we wound up taking. So that was a decent one off the end of Tesla. And we'll look to go short today underneath 350, Randy. So we'll wait to see how that goes. I wasn't sure you were here. I got a banana already. So
yeah.
Thank you, Randy. Oh, this is one of my favorite cups. All right, cheers. Thank you. Randy, good one. I like this cup. How's it going today? Major snowstorm coming tomorrow.
Yeah, more.
I'm going to be sick tomorrow. Yeah. Wednesday flu hits Trader TV Live.
Wednesday flu?
Tomorrow. Yeah. No.
Well.
All right, well, we'll see.
It is Canada. It happens.
All right. Yeah, let's go. Let's get back to the desk there and see what these boys are saying.
Shout out to our friends over at Firefly Neuroscience AIFF. Huge move here in the pre-market. 41% right now. Just took out the highs. They've been accepted and have joined the NVIDIA Connect program, which will grant them access to all kinds of AI tools, technology, training, discounted hardware and software. They're planning on using their FDA-cleared BNA technology and NVIDIA's resources to develop the world's first foundational model of the human brain. So big move, big news for Firefly. This is a Canadian company, so you throw NVIDIA into the mix here and you're going to get quite the reaction.
And an aggressive move technically here. So great actual news headline, good catalyst. Obviously, we had them on the show and they were explaining to the technology, but now from an actual trade, guys, 41%, well over the volume weighted average price right now, hanging around at 4 1/3. I'm going to be all eyes on this stock during the How to Trade show during the midday with Joe and I. 480 pre-market high so far. It's going to have to trade above that level if it wants me to trade it during the midday. So I'm going to be keeping an eye certainly on that 480 level, Brenda. I'll have to trade this one above the pre-market high.
Yeah, by far the, well, I shouldn't say that, not the volume leader, but ton of volume behind this move so far this morning, guys, up nearly 40%, as we said.
It might not be the volume leader, but when you're scanning those small caps, as Tisha in the chat seems to like it, with 5 fire emojis, maybe actually more than that, 9, to the upside. It's the one that's running right now. And we see the strength of this thing. Go back to the daily charts. I know Sharif was mentioning that you have that 480 up there. So yeah, you've got a big level at 480, but before you even get there, it's above VWAP, it's above prior resistance, $4 and $4.40. That gives you a couple of places to look. The first one being 4 on the daily, and then 4 at VWAP here at the open. Don't like to chase at 840. Anything can happen, but 11 million shares in volume and actually climbing, making higher highs and, well, making higher lows at least for now, with a chance to run at that high. These are some dark pool wicks of the 480 high only happened once. Yeah, this one's got to be on the radar today. It doesn't hurt that the news has NVIDIA in it. That's always going to give you a little bit of an extra push, and it's the one that's moving. I know this other one, LiPo, was another gapper, but distinctly different. LiPo is actually done by my look more volume, but you can see the distinct difference here. Like underneath VWAP, this one's trending down. We're just AIFF. Firefly continues to fly higher, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I wanted to see what was the volume. 11 million. Wow, huge. Okay. Yeah, the daily on Firefly here. You're getting into the 200 period moving average is going to be at $5, and we've seen some resistance and some support at 5. And then again, we sort of wicked higher there on news that day, I guess, up to 6. That day got to $6 as well today. So as we print in and around 450 right now, that 200 period moving average is at 480. So, I mean, that could be something to watch out for. If you're long, great trade. Obviously, with some people saying that they're long, excuse me, from Wednesday, flu's coming, from 370 and change. Great trade. Look at the 50 period moving average. We've often zoomed in and looked at 50 period moving averages before, and right there, like look at it, hold. So if you're looking to get something long, which possibly we will, yesterday I traded that momentous MNTS. We traded Big Bear yesterday. So we'll see if we can trade some AIFF here today and get into there. Big Bear today isn't doing too much, BBAI. I was just looking at it. I mean, it's at a good level of $8 again, which we had sort of seen yesterday, I believe, with that move in. Yeah, so yesterday right there it was. Yeah, 8, so 820. Looks like we could try to hold from yesterday. So I think Big Bear could be on watch again down here if we get into that $8 mark. Remember, yesterday we only had the long once, which worked there, and then we brought it back in, and eventually, once it lost the pre-market, we wound up getting out in and around $9. We wound up losing there yesterday on Big Bear, and then we finally got some at the bottom to bring it back up, but still a red stock for us yesterday. So we'll have to watch out for that, but down at $8, Big Bear should be fine. I really like the name, especially with Palantir just hitting all-time highs. I know the space is obviously going to be juiced up, but I also like Palantir today. Sticky notes out, you can go find some trade ideas over there.
Bring a note on this, DOMH. Bringing on both Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump to their board of advisors. So this is looks like data center and AI processing type of company. Big day yesterday for DOMH, but not really doing anything on that this morning, kind of gapping down here, but maybe another one here to look at.
What a big breakout here, Brendo. I did not have eyes on this, and it was already moving prior to that day. Since January 30th, we've been kind of setting up that bull flag with the breakout, as you said, coming yesterday above that $4.50 area. Dominari Holdings Board of Directors has declared a special cash dividend of around $4 million. There is this headline as well, announces a $13.5 million registered direct and private placement offering priced at the market under the NASDAQ rules. So we'll have to keep an eye out on this one, Brendo. Got into that $6.50 yesterday, trying to hold that $5.50 right now. We'll have to see if we can move above that closing print yesterday. I think closed out at 620. Good look.
All right, we're going to get an options play here from our man Joe for today, coming up here in a couple of minutes. But before we do that, Chinese EVs, it's worth mentioning, still trying to hold here 15.5 for XPeng, but XPeng, NIO, both down significantly on the morning. I didn't look at Lee. Yeah, same thing. Session lows here. Wow, Lee Auto's back to 25 as well. All on that BYD note that you mentioned earlier this morning.
Yeah, BYD. So here's what they're doing, guys. It's a really interesting look for BYD. They are popping what they call their low-cost the pilot assistant driving system, and the thing is, it's across all its vehicles. So if you have a cheaper vehicle, I think their cheapest one is $9,555. That's obviously not available in the United States because of the 100% tariff, but that's going to be included in that. I don't know the extent of the driver assist functionality, but we'll have to get more about that. But that is a very, very small, a low price point to have driver assisted features.
Yeah, obviously we can look at BYD DY over on OTC as well, guys.
Getting killed right now, so we'll have to wait to find out what's going on. Not killed. Closes out yesterday at $85, $87, sorry. Going out right now at 84 and making move. This is just a 5-minute chart. I mean, we can look at it at any charts, but there's not that much print happening right now with BYDD. And on the daily chart, though, this is the impressive part, right? So these are all e-signal charts. There's the gap up, like. Just boom, 74, 80, 84, 87, taking out that high. So BYDDY, again, I'm invested in Berkshire, so Berk B. So there's a little bit of all of this in there. Obviously today we'll get some Coke moves as well. This name's up to 471, trying to go right now. But yeah, these were good dip buys as well down there. We bought the Dow and then we bought some Berkshire, but again, they got hit with all the wildfires recently. But I mean, I guess it's back up. So I feel like insurance names not doing great. What is KIE right now? I wanted to see because after
that's what
all
makes
those,
Berkshire so safe.
Those wildfires there.
It's diversified well, Berkshire. Like it's
it's still big it's still big financial.
Of course, it's a big financial. But you know, you've got
Oxy and all that.
And apparently, you get to have a little bit of Siri, which I still don't.
Yeah, that's a little weird, but we'll hold on to some Berkshire.
I can't remember the last time I ever thought of or heard that Warren Buffett was buying something and didn't really necessarily get it. I want to make one note on that Dom H, which both Brendan and Sharif were just talking about. It's halted. But it actually shows the resumption time of 9 o'clock. So if you're ever just curious, the stock is not trading and it's in a clear halt, just go to the NASDAQ Trader website. They have a trade halt page and you can get the updates live there. So it was a news dissemination, but the news is disseminated. That's why it's gone T3. And then you see the resumption trade time at 9 o'clock. So quotes will come back in about 8 or 9 minutes and then the stock will open up. Yeah, XPeng was cruising. I think XPeng... This actually is not that uninteresting today. Down 7% on that BYD news and slowing growth for Chinese EV sales in general. So not really, it's doing the worst probably because it had moved up the most, so it has the most to fall back. It had some support, 14.5. It's about 14.8 to about $15, and I think it's got a chance to maybe retest that before getting to the 50 period. A lot of the Chinese ADRs, typically they gap so much that when they fill in the gap, they tend to fill it all the way. Like if there's a support level it's pulling back into, it tends to get there. Like you'll pull back from here, you tend to get there. So I kind of feel like you're going to probably get there at 14.5 on XPeng. It's weird that like a couple of years ago, like NIO used to be such a good moving stock. Now it's the one of the Chinese EVs that you would never look at. That stock does
$4. So
it just can't it can't move anymore. XPeng on the other hand actually at least does.
All right, yeah, here we go. This is going to be my new favorite segment. So I'm already jacked up about this. I'm very, very excited and interested and proud to announce as a team here.
Yes, let's do it.
We've got Joe ready to drop some options knowledge.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yes, let's get it started here. What we can do is we'll pull up my chart, and we're going to kind of compare two charts here, and that's going to be the SPY and the VIX, so the volatility or fear index, which is consistent of the S&P 500 put and call contracts here. But what I want to focus on is the inverse correlation between the VIX and the overall broader market, okay? So what we'll do is we'll look at high levels of this spike in the volatility index here, and this is the yen carry trade, and you can see that exuberant buying in calls in the VIX here, guys. So that's what we're going to use to correlate here. And as well here, this is the hawkish Fed cut. So why am I talking about the VIX and the comparison with the S&P? So we know that with heightened volatility comes heightened options premiums. I mentioned before that this is a possible good scenario and good sentiment for option sellers. So what we want to look at and correlate here as that we trade around in this choppy range is the average true range of the index as well too. You can see that it's heightened as well as the VIX, but we're also on the decline. So what does this tell us? That we're going to have heightened options premiums, and that is perfect for option sellers. We know that we have gone through the majority of the Mag 7 stocks, with the exception of NVDA left to report, right? So that's really key in options trading. We have that heightened volatility, and as option sellers, that's what we like when volatility is at its peak and on its way down. So what I wanted to focus on today is credit-based trades, and that's something that I love. I talk about it all the time, and what we just have reported recently is Google. This is what I'm going to use as an example here from an ATR perspective. So as I compared the VIX to the SPY, what we can do here is we can compare the average true range to current market sentiment in Google, all right? So what we have is we have this earnings report here, and you can see the increase in the average true range. So an increase in average true range, again, correlates with an increase in implied volatility. So now you can see that we have heightened above average, right, price movement and price fluctuation in Google. So what I want to do here, and what I was looking at last night on the options chain, is how much premium you can collect during these times. So we know that if we were to look at this from an average perspective, we're going to sit around here. We can classify that the average true range is definitely heightened, and with that, it's going to probably revert to a mean reversion within the average fluctuation of this stock. So what I want to do is, now that I'm somewhat bullish on this stock, is I want to be able to construct a bull put spread on this trade. With that heightened premium expiring next Friday, you have the ability to collect heightened amounts of premiums around $40 per contract combination. So that is one short put and one long put below these key levels of support. And this is exactly what we want to look at. And why do I want to sell premium here? Is because day by day, as the volatility tightens and dwindles, this is going to allow me to collect more premium than on average. So this is exactly why after earnings on big names like this, you want to start selling options premiums, guys. Very simplistic trade. We talk about these bull put spreads all the time, and I think this is something that you want to focus on. It can be the inverse too. If a stock were to gap up with a heightened average true range or heightened volatility, you can do bear call spreads. So this is something that I love to focus on post earnings in some of these big names. It's constructing bull put spreads, having the ability to collect as much premium as I possibly can with a day-to-day basis, also in the dwindling of volatility, guys.
Like
right.
it, love it. Thank you
you
so much, Joe. We like that.
A lot of information right there. So thank you, Joe, for all of that.
Packing it all in. Like
interesting. We don't have a VIX ticker to trade it as an equity, but you can trade UVXY or look at some of that action over there. So thanks for that, and especially on a day right now where it looks like the Nasdaq's going to be down 0.6, and then he was talking about the SPY. ES right now down 0.37. It looks like there's a little more excitement into the Nasdaq. There's, I mean, people. You have Intel up there. Intel just ripped up to $20.
Not sure why, but
yeah, I don't know why either. But it is a nice move. We're not seeing anything initially, but there it goes. Intel right there. Like, this is a great area to fade. I'm long Intel at these prices, so I would like for it to continue to move higher. But yeah, that $20.10 from yesterday's high. So, anyways, does the guy sound? Oh, now he sounds okay. We have Benzinga news in our ear, so if there's anything happening.
I thought it was just me. It
was breaking up, but now it's fine. I think it's fine now. So, okay, let's keep going. Someone just said about paper trading. You can paper trade options? Not really, right? Can you? Yeah, you can, but the liquidity.
If your broker allows you to have
right, yeah. So just make sure if your broker it's capable of doing that. I just always thought that options, it's like, I guess if you're trading liquid enough names like the SPY and everything like that, then I don't think that would be a problem. Most of us are trading pretty liquid options there as well. So thanks, Joe. Yeah, look, all right, it's 8:53. Make sure you do check out Firefly, of course, with AIFF still trying to go. I was just looking at it again right there, looking to bounce off of that 475 high right there. So we'll have to see if we can retake that. That can definitely get going, 38% and change for Firefly. And again, look at the 50-period moving average, trying to hold it. We've been up here before. It's a nice break on the daily chart with news. So again, catalyst-driven name, 14 million shares. It will be the leader of the pack so far there today. And then I was also looking at SMCI, could be something that we look at here today. We traded that really well. This turned out to be a great trade there in the afternoon. As you know, we actually were able to buy this dip right there and then take that into the close where we closed at the highs and continue to go there in the after hours before today gapping down as nervous hands, I think, for SMCI today heading into their earnings report. Because are they even going to report? I mean, that is the question. What?
2% to the upside on Shop. You know, 114 is not going to happen.
Okay, yeah, I know. So I wrote down on the sticky note right here.
Goodness.
Like I came in and was writing the sticky note here, 8 o'clock, right? And we were at 114. And I was like, yeah, I like this long down there. Wow, Shopify, Rip City right now. So good move there. As I said, can Canada just have nice things?
It's almost all-time high.
You know?
Oh, sorry, 52-week highs.
Yeah, nowhere near all-time highs.
But,
yeah, there goes Shopify. Nicely done to the upside. As let's check out the American counterpart here, PayPal. Yeah, we already did that, but we can keep on doing it because we really like Canada. Four Nations Cup starting very, very soon, so that'll be a little small tournament there. Not Russia allowed, of course. You know, but it will still be, it's Canada, USA, Finland, and Sweden. So we'll shout out to some of the Maple Leafs there, Nylander, Matthews, and Marner. Like 3 big players all on 3 different teams. So that should be pretty exciting.
Just stay healthy.
Oh, Hamster One just got a nice little report here. Obviously, it's not going to be real, but this is pretty funny here. What was it? Denmark offers $1 quadrillion to buy California? Okay, so yeah, these kind of stories going to be dropping very, very soon. Thank you, Hamster. Make sure that everybody hits the like, hits the subscribe, become part of the team. You can get part of the chat right now. As we approach, where's that lit? I don't see it up over there. It's 499,300 and something, I'm going to guess.
369.
I just guessed.
I have no idea.
But make sure that you do hit the like and the subscribe to join the chat. All right.
And one of the reasons why you should love the show and like the show is we get to go over some upgrades and downgrades.
Ooh, is that why? Okay.
Yeah, that's a good reason.
Let's do it.
Peloton was actually up quite shockingly a lot, at least since May when they announced their CEO switch over. Actually getting an upgrade with a $15 price target from Argus. They did report earnings last week. First Solar up about 2% with a Mizuho upgrade. SMCI down on the day ahead of their earnings tonight, but CFRA upgrading the name here, and then Southwest getting an upgrade here from Argus. On the downgrade side of things, Snapchat actually getting a downgrade from Guggenheim, Cloudflare getting downgraded by DZ Bank. We have Equifax being downgraded by Argus, and Fluence down 42% on earnings, getting another blow here, a downgrade from BMO Capital Markets. Back to you.
CFO.
Every once in a while, I'm like, okay, we're going to know all 8 of those companies.
Fluence.
No,
yeah,
I don't know Fluence.
I don't know Fluence there.
But Snapchat still has that flat bottom break from last week that we were talking about. It just hasn't happened. About $10.30, like $10.30 here on Snapchat. Upgrade, downgrade, it doesn't really matter. At some point, you're going to do one of 2 things on Snap, which is you're either breaking down this 10.30 support or 10 quarter support, or you're breaking it out above 13. Like, this has been impressive how it's just barcoding in here. Yeah, this stock isn't in control of the action of Snapchat since October, where it's held the exact same high, more or less, and the exact same low 4 times. It can't last forever. I think whichever direction it breaks, you don't care. You just want to trade it. And right now, it looks like it's going to be breaking that bottom first. But I said that the last time, and it bounced all the way to 13. So you could also just be going long off this 10.30 level as well on a swing, and it's been working every time.
I'm going to big shout out here to Arsis FX. Thank you so much for the gift of one free membership. So go grab it. Whoever got it, thank you so much for that, Arsis, and thank you so much. Is Palantir going to $89? I did not see your message there. Menau, is Palantir going to 89? Oh, okay. It's not, but that's a good message there. I really do like that one. Thank you for tagging me. We'll talk about it. I mean, it could go to 89. I have, if it did, that would be, 2 weeks ago? So that's not too bad. All right, so I just saw in the upgrade right now, Peloton got upgraded. I mean, we do know that there's some activism here happening. It had that nice move back into 750. So I feel like that's what you want to wait for. Obviously, that upgrade's going to hit it today. It's only up 1%. you know, a breakthrough 9 gets you above the 50-period moving average and not a bad little shelf there. So I think that could be something if you like the stock. And I think you got to do your research there. I'm not sure they're making any money, but they have switched over to almost like a SaaS model where they're selling the subscriptions for a software service there. So we'll have to wait to see. Obviously, Sharif's mentioned it as well. The bike is a pretty decent machine. It's just, can they get enough people in there to support the lessons that they do and the instructors and all that, and then technology associated and advertising with that. So above $9, I think Peloton is a little more interesting than where it is right now. So we were there yesterday at 2 o'clock. So let's see if we can get back up there. Peloton right now. So yeah, look, the NASDAQ's falling pretty good right now, coming back in. So I know Sharif's going to do a futures little look here as well, but that 530, like, we got into some decent levels. You know, my mother asked me, she was at the game on Saturday, and she goes, "Oh, how's the market doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's at all-time highs." And then, you know, she looks at me like, "Really?" Like, you know, like, people are always questioning that. You always hear bad news, and you kind of forget that we were kind of just right up here. But the thing is like, that's the move down now. So we just sort of tested highs again. So if we can fade back in, I do feel like there is a possible test down here, 518 to 520, possibly on the Qs. Not this is on NASDAQ. Not that that's going to happen today, but that is a possibility if this NASDAQ does slip up a little bit. You lose the 200 possible, and then it's downside there with not much happening. And then tonight we get a bunch of earnings, and we'll talk about that. It is nice to see Shopify, and it is on our watch list, so I'm sure we'll get over this again. But wow, what a huge move up. So it's nice to see a tech name that got beat up a little bit there on earnings, but which beat on the top and bottom line, as we had mentioned. So nice to see that rebound. So maybe the NASDAQ can catch a bid here. Tesla's not helping, and then Apple also. Holding this 230 is going to be important. I mean, we're under it right now, but this would be a level that we'd like to see as well. As not too many names like boom, boom. It had a nice recovery there, but then the fail at the 50 period, not a great sign for Apple either. So I'd like to see the market sort of pick up on the tech side of things. AMD, the CFO's talking right now with Shopify, so that would be part of it. There's a cherry on top. Yeah, AMD down through 110 still now today as well. So, all right, let's go back over. So Shopify CFO, they're obviously having their conference call on.
Alibaba, guys. Yeah, I was just going to mention that. Alibaba just going green here. Big move up on that note. Apple partnering with Alibaba to develop AI features for iPhone users in China. So we knew this was coming. They were going to have to find a partner. It's going to be Alibaba. That's according to the information, guys.
I'm trying to get long Apple as we speak right now. There we go. We're long Apple. All right. Well, this is the key, right? This is what we waited for, Apple. Let's just unite together here and go long. Okay, I'm long right now. We'll see what winds up happening. Alibaba gets right to that level. That's what we were just going to throw to before we went to Brendan. Thanks, Brendo, for that. So it just got to a level that we've sold before. I like these levels on Alibaba. I think if you're long it, you may want to trim something out in and around 117, 118 if it does get up there, but it's all the way back. So great trade there for Alibaba. And oh no, we're already doing it right here on Apple. Let's see if that gets going. Great trade there on Apple as we'll take the long and get some more out here at $229.50, $30, 50 cents now in the money on Apple. I think this is great news. This may be what the market needs. So there it goes, a little bit out there, $229.50 in, out some 230s and change on Apple and Alibaba news.
As exciting, or even moving on this, but worth a note, Netflix, according to Business Insider, Netflix exploring podcasting as their next expansion effort, according to BI. So it's actually down here a little bit, $1,000 stock. So, but that's opens the door to massive potential for Netflix. I mean, Google was just talking in their earnings about how that specifically has expanded YouTube as a platform to a point where YouTube, if you took it out of Google, is essentially at Netflix.
And think about it. I mean, like, look at the companies that try to compete with YouTube, like Dailymotion. They can't get the ball rolling, so to speak, because they don't have the user base.
Yeah.
Netflix doesn't have to worry about that. They've got a well-established user base. It's about changing your moat or offering that next product. I think it's really interesting here.
I mean, we could be on Netflix at that point.
Why not? I like it.
I'm down.
Are we ready to stream?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Let's have a look at the market.
All right, guys. 60.88. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES March contract. The overnight high, 60.87 and a quarter. So we're having trouble with that closing print. Well below it right now. Look, if we continue to bleed, we're looking at 60.50 as support. If we pop up and we take out the overnight high, 6,100 as resistance.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you jump down to the description of this video right now. Top link in the description will get you to the sign up page. All you need is an email address. And then you can just have the morning watch list for free every single day. Had that AIFF on it today. So Firefly, bottom of the watch list this morning. So much to have a look at today. Just keep me an eye on Netflix, actually down now. We'll talk Tesla here to kick things off after this headline came through yesterday afternoon. Kind of caught everyone off guard, but Tesla just tanked into the close. And then as Sean was mentioning, continued aftermarket as well. I mean, Elon just being Elon continuously here, going to buy OpenAI.
Can't stop him, Brendo.
No.
Once he's got that phone and internet access, it's all over. All right, let's talk about what he's offering, guys. $97.4 million to take control of OpenAI. What he's bidding for right here is the nonprofit, overseeing OpenAI, not just the company itself. Sam Altman not liking it, not taking it seriously. They're going back and forth on X, formerly Twitter. If you're interested, go and have a look at the thread between them. So Musk's attorney has previously stated that OpenAI should return to being an open source and safety focused. Obviously, Elon Musk echoing that as well. There's also been a dispute about funding where Elon is accused of OpenAI of not having the money to launch this Stargate program that's about $500 billion. So we're going to have to wait and see exactly what the situation is here. But obviously, a competitor, Brendo, Grok competes directly with OpenAI.
That looks great, by the way. New toy we're playing around with, if anyone caught that. A couple other things. I mean, the Shanghai Mega Factory up and running in 9 months. Crazy. Elon also said yesterday autonomous driving still on track for June in Austin specifically, but I think a lot of people are going to be focusing on the OpenAI headline.
Yesterday we had it. By the way, absolutely banger trade on Apple. We'll talk about that in a minute. 80 cents now in the money on that one on quite a big position, to be honest with you. All right, so there it is, Tesla. We had this yesterday. There's the drop down. There's 354. There's the cover in the after hours of 348. So yeah, it was not, we were looking short all day on this name. Oh, well done. Thank you. Hold on a second. That's not what I was trying to show. We were short also earlier on in the day on Tesla. Okay, guys. All right, we can just continue to talk about Tesla. Obviously, it's on the move there. But here we go, man. This is the big trade right here for me as this is starting to go. Let's go, man. 230.80s right now. Bang. Nice trade already. All right, guys, honestly, if this goes up just a little bit more, it will be our day goal made. We talked about that yesterday with Tesla and how we had lost that right away. And right now, we're just going to make it back on Apple. There it goes. That's your day made right there in the pre-market so far. So we make it, that's perfect. We talked about yesterday. We talked about our winners. We talked about our losers. There goes Apple, Neil. It is a monster trade right there. Daily goal met on the very first trade. And again, we had brought this to you live. Oh my God, Neil, daily goal met. What are we doing now? All right, so we had brought this news story to you live. So, I mean, if there's any reasons to share, like, and subscribe, there we go, bang. $1.80 now in the money on this trade. You've got Alibaba. That's looking good. Let's see what winds up happening right now. But for me, Tesla's on the sticky note. Wow, okay. Guys, congratulations if you're in that. Neil will go over Alibaba in a minute, obviously. But Tesla, I'm still want to go short 350. That's what I wrote down. It's a big level. We broke it yesterday in the after hours, but I like Tesla 350. But I do like Apple, and that was a great trade. And we're still trying to go. I'll get something out here at 75. Bang, yeah, let's go, man. A little bit of a pullback, but we'll just keep on getting this out. Apple for the win here, big time early.
Yeah, I love that Apple. I think this is better in the short term for Apple than it is for Alibaba.
Yeah, that's why.
The first place I went to was the Alibaba chart, just because that's what I heard first, and out of the ear was Baba first, and it bounced off of. We'll get to Tesla in a quick second, but it broke out yesterday's high, immediately wicked 115, and this is sort of the issue. This is a big resistance level on Baba where it's already reversed before, so I want to take it out in front of the 15. I've seen these Chinese ADRs do this before. I trust Apple a little bit more, and I think I might want to go over to that. So we want to lock it in here if we get that push into 114. I said in my note this morning on Tesla that I like an over-under at 350. Now I'm favoring the short, and yesterday the big mistake for me was not waiting for a reversion when it was trading higher. You know, a reversion means let it break the trend, let it do some kind of a rollover, which I was not patient enough to have happen on the stock. So I think patience requires letting it make the top, let it mean revert, do some kind of a trend break, and then short it. So that's what I'm looking for if it breaks 350. As long as it's under 350, that's a different story. Under 350, just fade 350. That's a level. But above that price, I need to see some kind of a trend reverse, which means I'm only getting in on these types of setups on Tesla. Break of trend, something like that. Or you take a trend line like this, where it's holding that support, take the break of trend. You know, I don't want to play a support and resistance game and when it's starting to trade up in the air. So above 350, I'm looking for mean reversions. Beneath it, I'm just shorting I just want to short the 350 level on Tesla. I hope that makes sense. I don't want to be fighting shorts and forcing shorts above the 350 level. Whereas any level or any setup under 350 is a take for me. Why? Because the stock's just been trending down, and every single day has been a short. There's a refresher at 114 on Baba, 114 even on Alibaba. So I'm just going to get this one out. Go over to Alibaba again. So again, Alibaba, Apple. Respect the news. I think this is good for both. I think in the short term, I like it a little bit better price action wise for Apple. That's why I'm going to jump out of the Alibaba trade. Like refresher at 114 after it failed 115 on the initial print. We know Chinese ADRs like to fill in the gap. We've seen it before. You could always see it again.
Joining and missed that headline this morning officially. There we go. Apple teaming up with Alibaba for iPhone usage over in China. We knew that was coming. They were required to get a partnership going for that over in China. So it's going to be BABA if anyone's just popping in. Good morning. Down 1% here for NVIDIA. I mean, if you squint hard enough, there's an OpenAI angle to the NVIDIA story today. If OpenAI is still working on their own AI chips and nobody likes to pay as much as NVIDIA is charging, there could be an option soon.
Absolutely, Brendo. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. NVIDIA obviously took a bit of a hit after DeepSeek released its R1 model, which put the entire forecasted CapEx in AI for 2025 into question. One of the companies that stood to benefit from that is SMCI, who reports this week, guys. So this has been a wild ride here for SMCI. They're up 40% year to date, give or take. Compare that to the 2.1% drop in the NASDAQ. It's up 59%, Brendo, in the last 5 trading days. We know some of its competitors. It's competing with Dell, HP, etc. It's got the revenue projections for SMCI. We're expecting about 60% year-over-year growth with about $5.89 billion in revenue for Q4. So we'll have to see how they do. They're still yet to release their audited financials from last year. And obviously, we know that Hindenburg did have a bit of a hit piece on this one back in August, which prompted their auditor, Ernst & Young, to resign at that time, picked up by BDO. No wrongdoing found, Brendo, by that internal committee, but we're still yet to see those those audited financial statements.
Yeah, coming up, as you mentioned. NVIDIA, meanwhile, still holding on to, 50%-ish or better part of that gain from yesterday, guys. Pretty good day on Monday.
NVIDIA was a great stock yesterday. SMCI turned out to be better for me because we were able to, basically, we talked about it. We came back from the gym there, and we just noticed that it just kept on going. It was on our radar yesterday. It had a nice move heading into earnings. It was up yesterday. We closed Friday 36.37. We opened up yesterday 38.39, and it just kept on going. We got to 43 at the close, and we actually played these dips right here. We played the break long. Then it dipped in, we were able to average it in, and then all the way to the upside. So that was a great trade there at the end of the day. But and you can go find that on Twitter, of course. So I wrote down here today for SMCI, it's on the sticky note. I said 39 pullback if we can get that. So if I just looked at it, again, we'd still be underneath everything. It's down 5%. So generally speaking, we don't love the move down there on SMCI today, and we're not normally looking long. But if I just look here, we did have a bunch of consolidation here at 39. So this is where I'm looking to pick something up on SMCI. I'll probably put a bid there. see if it fades into it. Actually, I don't have one right now. I have an offer on Tesla. But yeah, right here, $39 for SMCI, down 5% heading into earnings. Expected earnings move, I think, is in around 10% or so. So we'll figure out what happens with SMCI, but I do like $39 range for that name. So I'm going to put a bid. If we get filled, it'll be early, light shares, and we'll go from there. So SMCI on the radar here today for sure. On the sticky note down there at 39 bucks. So I'm going to put a small bid, like a 1 unit play down at 39. And then if we get filled, we'll see how the market's reacting. We'll see how SMCI's trading. And then we'll add to that position if it's a hold. So starter position down there, 39 long on SMCI. And we just hope that they report. Well, we don't, because I'll be out of it by then.
Well, it's one of those, like, yeah, imagine like such a situation where you care mostly that it even happens as opposed to anything else.
It's a weird one.
Yeah, it is a weird one. Like Nvidia was good yesterday, but today it feels a little bit different. Yesterday was a clean breakout on this 15-minute. Let's go to the 3, because you had VWAP as well. It was a straight up breakout, and then it was a bounce off VWAP. And that was it. The long on Nvidia was go long on the break, go long off VWAP. Today, you're underneath that support level. You're down 1%. It's just distinctly different. I'm actually looking at AMD for the fade because it got right back. Okay, look, downward trending stock, so favoring shorts has been good. It tried to break out above 111. Since earnings, you got a 112 top and now a lower high at 111. So I want to short into that level on AMD. Any strength, I want to short this stock. So, this one pops at the open, kind of like Tesla. I'm looking shorts on AMD. Nvidia would probably need to drop back into that breakout price to get exciting. 130 and then the 128 level looks good. I just kind of feel like with the market looking a little bit weak right now, you're down 0.6% and going back to Old Faithful on the shorts, which is AMD. Worth mentioning, Sean brought it up, and that Intel, whatever that weird Intel spike was, it's like right back where it started. So there wasn't, it wasn't a lot of volume behind it, but once again, just like yesterday, it kind of faded off that 20 level. Couldn't follow through, Intel.
Shopify pretty volatile here. Pre-market guys, call still on. It looks like the CFO just mentioning Q1 operating expenses guiding 41 to 42%, 500 to 600 basis point improvement from Q1 last year. So improving the cost base is always a good thing. Not only is it green, but green and then some, 1.7.
Yeah, because there wasn't a whole lot wrong with this report, Brendo. So when Neil and I were talking about this in the morning when we were prepping, there was not a whole lot wrong. Let's talk about it. Q4 merchandise volume, an eye-watering $94.5 billion. That's a 24% year-over-year increase, a record for them, Brendo, for gross merchandise volume. Revenue and profitability also did quite well. $2.81 billion, that's a 31% and change increase, beating the expectations of the $80 million, excuse me. Free cash flow margins expanded 22% as well. Revenue expected to grow. So their outlook for 2025, we're looking at the mid 20%. This is where they kind of missed, Brendo. The street was looking for around 24.6%. They guided mid 20s, so that was a kind of a miss there. Expected cash flow and expenses, as you mentioned, 41 to 42%. And Q1, just to give you a bit of a heads up, their weakest quarter typically after the Christmas season, so likely going to be a little bit late here.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Just heads up, DOMH open, guys, up huge here, 65%. Again, if you missed it, both Trump Juniors being added to the board here for DOMH.
Well, I mean,
can't hurt.
Yeah, new name there. DOM. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say Domari.
It's not in our system.
It's not in our system, so like we can chart it for you. We can throw it up on like eSignal or something, but Domari is not going to be on our platform today for trade. That's that DOMH. Shopify. Obviously, when it was trading lower, it changed. Like everything changes when you do a $15, $16 bounce off the lows, which is what Shopify has done. So you can stick a fork in some of the support down here, 108, 109, or any of that good stuff. Just looking at the prior support. When you do a liquidity grab like that, the down. We talked about this yesterday. It's not the same thing when Palantir did a lit grab or when a firm did a lit grab and then broke it out. But it's the same type of setup where you made it trap some shorts, you probably got some weak hands out, and now you've got 116 in here, which is basically last week's support level. You had 1 day underneath it, which was just buy it all the way up into the level and then a hold. So I like that 116 on dips in Shopify. I'm expecting some volatility in this stock today, needless to say.
Yeah, I was going to show you guys. I mean, we are the same. Whoa, we got to fix this soon. That's getting real close, guys. I'm not sure what the exact count is. What is it up there over there, Fabian? Do you have it over there? Okay, we'll get it for you guys in a second. But hit the like, hit the subscribe. Let's get going right now. We do have over 8,000 right now watching. But all right, so I wrote down earlier there that we were looking at Tesla, we were looking at Shopify, and it was 110 to 112. I said hit on earnings, but a good base. Moving higher in the pre-market, so play dips. I thought it was oversold. This is what we had wrote down at 8 o'clock. But now, obviously, I don't think it's oversold at all. It's probably overbought. But at the end of the day, 1.5% is definitely underneath any sort of expectation for Shopify. Yesterday, we were looking for 6-7% move on this name. You don't really get it. You get it there. That's great. But then that bump back upside keeps on going. Randy, how's everything going over there? Oh, there it is. 499, 461.
Way under.
Hey-oh, no, that's way higher. We were both thinking, you said I said 300, you said 369. So right now, we are way over sort of where we had thought. So yeah, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And Randy, any chance for a reload of the coffee potentially? I still have about a third left.
The more coffee we drink, the more subs we get.
This is getting cold, man. Now I can't drink it. You got a little too close right there. Yeah, okay, so.
Complaints department.
Yeah. Where do I file it?
Well, okay, my bad. I have a heater, so my coffee doesn't get so cold. It's just I don't have anywhere to plug it in, and we already have like.
All right, now we're ready. Oh, by the way, Apple right now still 50 cents in the money. We're that's Shopify chart refresh. All right, so we got something out at 230 last time. I'm waiting for 230.40s to see if we can. Fabian, to show the chart here a little bit, if we can get out into this area, we got a bunch out there. Our best out was during that rip, which was really good. I mean, we're out, we only have a third left. So it was a good trade there. We'll see if it can get higher. I'm just waiting for this off the open. And then I saw you Nimit in the chat. We still have a couple of things to go here, 8 minutes to go. Here's the imbalance locator. We don't have AIFF because it's a NASDAQ name, so that won't come out till 25. So you still have 3 or 4 minutes until you see what happens with Firefly on that. So, all right, let's get ready to rock and roll here with China EVs as BYDD hits 52-week highs.
Boom.
Downside right across the board here in a pretty big way. 6.3 XPeng leading the way as far as percentages are concerned. NIO only 2.3, but on the back of this BYD announcement seemed to come out of nowhere.
So not one that we typically trade, but it's available if you want to trade it on the OTC exchange. Shout out to Jeff Mendel. So the stock gained 21% last week ahead of its February 10th, yesterday's event, where they launched their most advanced driver assistance features over here. So the launch of what they're calling D-Pilot. This is going to be the assisted driving system across all their vehicle lineups, including their low-cost offering, which the cheapest one right now is $9,555. Yeah, that's currency converted. They're shifting from a price-cutting strategy, which was their focus in 2024, upgrading to the functionality to full self-drive in 2025. They also explored DeepSeek partnership, Brendo. They are integrating DeepSeek's AI into most of their advanced driver assistance systems. So we'll have to see how that partnership pans out. And we know Tesla's full self-driving still not allowed in China, as they are awaiting regulatory approval from the government. So no competition right now from Tesla with respect to that.
And, I mean, as far as a trade goes today, we'll see how things go, but XPeng definitely the weakest. Guys, help us out with this. Let's just do this today and get it out of the way right now. Yeah, that's the wrong direction, but
come on.
515 because of math, and we'll be there. So we really appreciate everyone stopping by every single day. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you subscribe.
I pity the fool that doesn't hit the like and subscribe button.
Get him, Neil.
Get it.
I mean, what can I say? Like AIFF, Firefly's moving. You've got Apple and Alibaba making power moves for sure. You're going to see, obviously, Tesla's going to get traded today. We'll get to Palantir in a quick little second. We only have 5 minutes to go. XPeng, yeah, you said it's the worst of the group to the downside. I mean, I don't necessarily like the long on XPeng today. I don't think it'll be near the top of the list. If I'm trading something that's not Tesla, that is remotely related to automotive, It's Uber today. So don't sleep on Uber. I know it's not. There isn't a catalyst. You already had the Ackman. I don't really have a name for the Ackman bounce on Friday. The Ackman ad. I don't know. That doesn't sound very cool at all. But multiple days in a row you've run here on Uber, almost getting to that $80 level on the daily, which is a huge resistance level. I think you break out 80, it gets absolutely nasty. My only concern is you get that 3-day up move. If you fail the high, like if you break out that 79 and it immediately fails, that's a reversion type play on a day 3 for me here on Uber. But as long as if it can hold above 79 and break out towards 80, I want to go for the long there. But at the open, that 79 fails. That'd be a quick reverse. Thank you, Randy.
Peeled off some of my nails. XO, move up.
All right, so quickly here, we had Uber yesterday at $77 right off the open, and that was an absolute monster move up to $78.50, and then we had stopped in and around, well, 79, sorry. So we had that move. I just realized I didn't tweet out the actual play, the chart yesterday, but yeah, we had that, and I think we're going to do it again, man. If we could do... We got 500,000? Oh, okay. All right, so 77 there as a bottom. We'll see if we can get that again. So that's what we're looking at there with Uber. I don't have too much love for the Chinese EV names. I mean, I was actually thinking about, and BYD is at 52-week and potentially all-time highs there. But yeah, I was just looking at NIO. It's really doing nothing. But at the end of the day, this $4, you know, like, look, if BYD can do it, potentially there's other names that can also produce cheaply across the pond, way across the pond there in China. So $4 could be a level there for them. And then Li Auto was one. This is one of the better. I've never really traded Li Auto, but I do know it moves a lot. There it is, down 4%. Not really. I don't really trade these names. But again, 22 to 22.50. Again, some of these bottoms are looking pretty good for these names. So I don't know. Was there a Chinese name that you think would be the leader? I guess BYD, right?
I mean, BYD's got slaughter everywhere.
Yeah, it looks like that. And we do have Warren Buffett in here. Here's the BYD chart on the pink sheets right there. This is the daily chart heading upside right now on BYD. But the most recent print on this, and I'll show you what it looks like here on the pink sheets. We don't have much action, but it is to the downside, that's all. There it is, $84.60, $84. So you are down about 2% or so right now, but that's volume dependent. So let's wait. Yeah, let's wait to see. The spread right now is $1. So, we'll see if it can come back up. All right, with only 3 minutes to go, you guys want to...
all-time high.
Yeah, is it? Maybe it's going to be all-time highs very soon. There's Palantir with the bid. Yeah, there it is. Well, nice move up to 116 and change.
It is.
We wrote down 114 for Palantir. It's going to be coming up right now. NVIDIA just looks like, I mean, it is a pullback today. We were at 135. They're down 1%, but that catches a bid. You guys asked about Firefly. It's not on here. It doesn't mean it didn't have a move because it could be small. Nothing really happening with Firefly, but a nice bounce off view up as well, 420. So, all right, so that's what we're looking at right here. Let's go get the story from the guys about this one. PLTR now turning green.
To talk about, guys, Wedbush, Dan Ives liking Palantir once again, along with or coming off earnings for NVIDIA on the AI play, but just going red to green right now, guys, for Palantir.
We really like this. This was another really great. This was my best trade yesterday, I think, and we actually had 113. No, it mustn't have been 113. It was ever one of these highs broke right into there, and then the dip buy right into the close, and it just got ramped up. So we had Palantir. Remember, we were 6 trades long yesterday. All right, now the market's falling. Apple just breaking through 228.50.
928.
Yeah, it's 928 right now. So more NASDAQ imbalances are starting to drop. So. Yeah, I mean, nothing really there. Alibaba still catching that bid. That looks like that's the complete opposite. Alibaba continues to go upside there as Apple falling. So we'll have to wait to see what's going on with that. But yeah, big bear as well right now. Anyways, Palantir, again, really like the stock here of Palantir. And I don't know about that break of 117. The market is red right now, pretty good.
I don't like breakouts when the market's down.
I wish the market was up, but we'll wait.
It's a preference thing. Market's 0.7% down. Taking a breakout at the open, it's like, if we trend up, you can always catch a trend. So looking for the dip buy, you have multiple levels in here. You got 15 and 14. here for Palantir. Let it do the dip and rip. Like yesterday, it dipped $3.50 at the open and then went on Palantir. So there's nothing wrong with being patient with this off the open. It even gave you a higher low that you could play into, and then it gave you a breakout. When Palantir trends, there are multiple opportunities to get on the train. You don't have to force it when Palantir is a good long. It's as simple as that. Tesla, so there weren't any imbalances on any of the big NASDAQ names, but Tesla just made a little bit of a dip into 345. So it looks like it is going to be heading lower. 350 we'd like to play off of. Alibaba, as we mentioned, the Alibaba and Apple news at the forefront. Baba up 2.5%. Maybe it'll retest that 112 level here at VWAP and give you another bounce play on Baba. It's Tuesday. It's going to be a busy one after market because of SMCI if they report. And we got a wild one in store because we got Powell testifying at 10 o'clock, which I think we only mentioned once. So remember, 10 o'clock, Powell's going to testify. Don't know if it'll move the market, but certainly the market's going to move. And 2 and 1, Adara.
All right, here we go. All right, so let's just see what's going on right now. We have Apple long. We tried to layer into this a little bit. Let's just see what winds up happening right here on the open. Now it goes through to 229. So we're long at 228.90 right now on Apple, and we did get a few more shares down there. So here we go, man. I mean, Apple, good trading. We just got a 228.50 bid. So here it goes, nice upside move. We've already sort of hit our day here on Apple. Let's see if we can really top it off with this blowout top right now for Apple. So big time trading right now on AAPL. 70 cents in the money, more than $1 in the money on that most recent reload. So Apple right now really making my day to start off with. It's 940. We've already talked about it. Let's just see if it holds. Right now the NASDAQ, Neil, is what's really starting to bump. So that's what's going bump in the night right now. NASDAQ, nice
NVIDIA is
higher.
going higher. You've got Tesla. The problem for Tesla is we're not going to get that 350 if you don't get some kind of a big bounce. Tesla already flushing into the downside as we speak. Yeah, not looking good for Tesla. At Palantir, which is not dipping into our levels as well. All right, I'll do this for the black chart.
The NASDAQ's really trying to go. Apple's huge.
So here's Shopify. Shopify not doing anything. So just Palantir right in the middle of the range. We want that dip into 15 or 14. It looks like it might just take out the top. And then the last one for you, Shopify still. There we go. Shopify still holding 122. Hasn't dipped into VWAP either. We'd like to look for that long on Shop. AMD could be getting close to the short, though, at that 111 to 112.
Sirens up. All right, Apple's now $1.50 in the money. As we're just really starting to bang it out right now. There it goes. So yesterday's loss on Tesla, we've made more right now on Apple than we did on Tesla's loss yesterday, and I lamented that loss pretty much for 7 hours until we got it back there at the end. But here it goes right now, an absolute monster move up there for Apple. It is your chicken dinner winner right there, and we just stuck with it, man. We said that that's the one thing that, you know, Palantir, Neil. Oh my, man. It might be a case of the Wednesday's flu tomorrow for sure as well, because we may have to go and talk to the broker here. Look at Palantir, man. 118.50 right now. Okay. But there it is. It's a $2 winner right now for us. All right, Neil's flat, so we'll pass over to him in a second. But a $2 winner right now for Apple. You been into anything yet? I haven't been.
I'm adjusting orders on Palantir now because, well, what are you going to do? Like, Palantir decided it didn't want to give us a dip. It's just, you've now run through the high. It's all-time highs on Palantir. All we can work with is prior high and VWAP at this point. So if we get a dip into VWAP, that's going to be the first place. I said it before. If Palantir trends up, you should not have any trouble being able to get on the train at some point. That's just how it is with PLTR. Alibaba, before I go to Shopify, Alibaba loses VWAP and comes back in. I just didn't feel as good about this one on that Apple news. It's not to say that it isn't up, but it did a good move, and now you're reverting the move here. The Chinese ADRs like to sell off at the open when they have good news. That's just how it is. Shopify, which is the other one we're on. All right, I'm bidding $4 underneath at VWAP. Kind of a waste of time now. This one might actually just take out the top. Typically don't like breakouts, but the market, despite being red, has started to go a little bit green. We want the dip buy, but if it's not going to give it to us, then we have to maybe look at this breakout here on Shopify. Tesla also very close to 350. Just got to 347, and it's hunting for that 350 level. So that is likely to come into play in any minute now. We could get that push into 350. If you see us go short, then you know we like the level.
Yeah, 350 is already, 350 is your number one trade here on the sticky note. You can go find all the trade ideas over there. But okay, like we're now 250 in the money on Apple. And honestly, we're gonna get a piece out here, hopefully. No, I don't even have this. I'm waiting for 231.25s. So here it goes right now, bang. Neil, this is $3 winner right off the open. So yeah, Kathy, I can't take that right now. You know that. There it goes, man, monster move. We're at 231.50s as well. Can we get it? Those are the orders I was just putting in right now as Apple absolutely mooning, as is the NASDAQ. Huge move upside right now in this market. Boy, oh boy, do we like what we are seeing right here, right now. It's an absolute monster right there for Apple. We'll just continue to watch it. There it is. Did we just get that 231.50 there? No, that's the 231.25. Okay, so we'll see if we can get that. We are having a little bit of a problem up top there. Remember, we do have Powell. I'm going to get out of another piece right now at 231, there it is, it was at 08's there. So, okay, we'll take out a couple more pieces. We are right now, we're in about 20 to 25%. Let's just maybe let this thing run. We are at 231.50 to see if we can get some out. But right there, man, absolutely cruising. I know you're still looking to get into something. Alibaba, nice move back into 111. If I was looking at this name, that's a great trade right there for Alibaba, but we're not in it. And then Uber, I wanted to look at that. We're still bidding 77. That's not in play yet again either. But $3 winner, Sharif, right off the jump there for Apple as we get long 228 up to 231.50. Apple continues to work itself out now. And we'll just wait to see 231.50 is our next out. If it can get that, then it's up and away, man. I mean, 235, some of these wick highs on the daily, 234 and change. But there we go. Neil's into Palantir. I'll pass it over.
Yeah, we just got Palantir for the first time. I'm going to get to Uber because that was the other one that we didn't mention. So Palantir, it's early for VWAP, but a couple of minutes in, it just bounced off of VWAP, which is also pre-market resistance and aftermarket. At least as far as we check it, it was holding that 11740. If we lose a quarter,
oh boy,
jump out and look for another opportunity in Palantir because I think as long as it trends up, you should be willing to take multiple hits. Uber, I said if it failed 79, we'd go for the short. It failed 79 pretty spectacularly, but I did not get the short. So just a quick update on Uber. Yeah, there's your top wick at 79 even. I was trying to get short underneath the prior close. I punched and didn't get filled, as you guys can obviously see. So I'm going to leave it in there, see if we can't pick it back up on the upside here for Uber as Palantir is starting to go. But we missed that Uber short back in through the 79. There goes Palantir. The new all-time high, 118.66 on Palantir.
Wow.
I feel like the pre-market low is 115, so every $5 is Palantir. So 120 would be the logical target today for Palantir. It seems to like it. If it goes a few bucks, it goes 5. Okay. That's what Palantir does. It goes $5, not 2.
Yeah. Palantir go boom. Okay, good trade, Neil. But we are... All right, forget about it. We now only have about 20% left as we got more out here at 232 on Apple. Right now, 350 in the money. Yeah, we are loving some Palantir over here, man. I haven't sold any of this name since $54 or something like that. Huge move up. We're long sub 10. Okay, so Oracle up there. Google 187. Google's really making a nice move right now as well off that bottom. But everything is. Look at the NASDAQ really starting to rip up right there. There it is, 185 up to 187 straight up for Google. Would like to see a little bit of a pullback. The other name that we wanted to look at was Shopify, 122. So again, we like to play pullbacks into VWAP, that's for sure. So if Shopify can do that, then we'll probably take that long, 118, but that's off right now. Tesla 350, SMCI was the other trade for us. Tesla's getting up to that 350 mark. We said we'd have to look at what the NASDAQ was doing, of course. And wow, okay, so we were just a little shy of that 350, or else we would be short if we were right there. 349.50. I'm going to 349.50 right now to see if we can get a short in Tesla. Hopefully it will work out for us. If it breaks through 350, we can get out, but we should be short already right now on Tesla, I feel.
It was really close. I actually had my offer was on the north side of the 50, as I always would do that every single time, but you're going to miss it sometimes. I've already canceled the order. We bounce off VWAP, just got to look for another target. I'm into Uber now on the short side at VWAP so there was that push through 79. There was a fail through 79. It just pushed through VWAP. I was able to get a fill in the 40s. Like to add here and then give it to this prior bar open close, which is above prior close on Uber. Palantir just came all the way back.
It's all the way back.
Oh, it's not a, here, I'll do this. It's not a New Zealand stock. No, it just came right back through, lost VWAP. Instead, if it loses VWAP, we'll hunt a little bit lower down on the 116 level. Still on a bit of a pullback. Was able to get some out in front of the 118, but we're out of Palantir for now. Into Uber short, still no Tesla, still no Shopify. Got to be patient with Shopify. We knew there'd be a big range for that stock and don't want to rush into it. Adara?
Keep an eye here in SLQT. This one moving higher, not really a small cap, but kind of moving like one, about a $1 billion market cap. And as of this point, it's actually broken above its post-market high. Yesterday after the close, Select Quote, or SLQT, basically reported their earnings. They beat estimates and they announced a $350 million strategic investment from a couple different investing partners, including Morgan Stanley Private Credit. So great look here for SLQT on their earnings and investment announcement, guys.
Tesla's still not there. Neil just talked about Palantir and Shopify. All right, so here's SMCI. We wrote down 39. It went to 39.80. Now it's at 41 and change. Nice move up there for SMCI. Now only down 3.5%, but again, still down. We liked it. I liked it long down there. We will try to hunt for it again. Right now, I'm just really watching Apple as it's pulling back. We got more and more out of that. We only have about 12 or 13% left. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but there's $40 right there. That could be a good dip buy for SMCI, but I was still waiting for 39, so we'll see if that can come into play again. I don't want to get super excited right now. Shopify shares are pulling back, as is the market right now. It's too bad we missed out on that Tesla trade. It's my bad. I should have not been as all over Apple there, and because that was my number one trade idea. So we should be short. It should be $3 in the money. So congratulations anybody that did follow that and tail that trade, because there it was right there. I just did not see it in time because we were doing this. And I mean, Apple right now. So like I said, Apple yesterday, we've already done really well on this name. We just got another piece out there at 231. As this name was falling down in, we just got some more outs. That's 231.10. These are 231.60s. We got the highs, and now you're trying to fall back in. So I was just going to say, watch out for the 50-period moving average on Apple as a possible out near 229. All right, Intel, man. Intel go boom. We like when Intel go boom. Intel's a stock that we own now at these levels, and actually even a little bit lower than right now. So Intel, nice move to the high side. I think if this name gets to $22, this is in my swing account, or TFSA. We have it here in Canada. I'll probably sell if we can get into that area, but so far so good there on the day right now for Intel. So up 2.5%. If Derek got news on this, then she'll bring it to us. But we'd sort of looked for it earlier. We didn't see much over there. So NVIDIA's breaking which way? Go ahead, yeah.
Upside, NVIDIA's breaking out to the upside. 135, we were so not close to this when we sat down this morning. Double top 135 from yesterday on NVIDIA. Obviously, it's a little bit of resistance. Let's see if it can break that one out. The market's trying to go green in here, which is interesting because I'm only in one short. So Uber pulled right back. Let me zoom back in for you guys. Pulled right back into 78. Just hit the opening rate, the current opening range bottom. If it gets to 77, that's an out because 77 is support. On Uber, it was just a failed break of 79. Look for the continuation under VWAP. If it gets to 77, that is definitely going to be a target. I guess we're not going to get a bounce on Tesla. Nope. Don't jinx it. Maybe we are going to get a bounce here on Tesla. So Tesla trying to bounce. You could get another retest of this 350. So there might be a chance to claim this level once again. Let's go to Adair.
No Intel-specific news that I could find, though a lot of people are speculating that now will be the time we get CEO news. Again, this is pure speculation, and it's unclear what it's based on. But there is a catalyst here for the AI world as a whole. Around 8:45 a.m., Wall Street Journal reported that Vice President J.D. Vance apparently has warned U.S. allies to keep AI regulation, quote-unquote, light. Again, this is, I guess, just a warning as reported by Wall Street Journal, so it's unclear what effect this could have. But we know Intel is really considered an American AI play due to the fact that they have their production in the U.S. So keep an eye on INTC here, guys.
I don't know. Are they an AI play?
Intel?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just going to stay away from Intel because we thought that level was going to be a bit of a fade. All right, so a bit of a pullback here happening on NVIDIA. This can hold on to VWAP. I mean, the long's been good every single day. If it breaks out to play the bounce off VWAP, and NVIDIA has been pretty much gold. So that'll be the pre-market high. And then the 133. AMD, to me, distinctly different. Still like it. in front of 112 as a short. You still haven't really pulled back into yesterday's highs. It did a couple of moves to get into the top yesterday, so a little bit of patience here with regard to AMD. Oh yeah, Alibaba. That's the other one we're tracking. Going to want to rush into shop. Alibaba trying to hold on to VWAP now. Looking a little better than it did at the open. There's the dip where it probably rinsed people out, and now you're holding that 112. Yeah, 112 news level, I suppose we should call it, on Alibaba, the Apple Alibaba news. So I'm looking to get back in this one as it's reverting back through the 112. That way we can be long above VWAP as opposed to catching a falling knife. When Chinese ADRs, telling you, when they gap up, earnings, good news, I don't care what it is, they tend to pull back at the open.
Neil, if you're on the Midday show, they would say, get it, Neil. So I will say, get it, Neil, for that one right there. Okay, so
Just like it today.
Yeah, exactly. You guys, I can't tell the difference. Where's Neil? Okay, so here we go. Nice move back for Apple. It does fall back into 230. We're going to just add a very, very small piece to this right now. I am going to try, we talked about this 50-period moving average. We'll try to take a little more seriously down here when and if it comes in right now, and it looks like it is coming in. If it breaks below this 229.50, then we're going to be out of Apple. We are trying, there it goes. We just got a nice bid there. So this is our average price now, 229.30. If we break below that on this reload, then we can get out. It is falling back in right now as people digest the news. But like I mentioned, we were getting pretty light on that. So nice little reload here for us. We'll get something out if it does pop up, which it's doing. So into the 80s again, good job there. That bigger reload obviously was at the 50-period moving average, 64s. So a nice little 20-cent back move here for us on Apple, backfilling that trade. Now, I mean, again, if it breaks lower, fine, but we are starting to get some more out. We just got some out there for 20 cents, and now we'll see if we can get back into the 80s. But if we lose this, then we're gone. We do not need to be stubborn with it. Yesterday, as you remember on Tesla, we kept, okay, bang, let's go. Yesterday on Tesla, we did keep on averaging into that trade. Did not work out too well for us right now. So, yeah, man, we only have one trade today, and it's been a good day so far. So let's keep this going. I'm hearing news about GameStop as well.
I heard the same thing. GameStop at the highs. Yesterday there was news with, well, there wasn't really news. It was a tweet of over the weekend of Ryan Cohen and Michael Saylor. I knew I was going to remember that. It just took me a second. But no, not a lot of volume on GameStop here. We just heard in our ear it's going to the upside. All right, NVIDIA doesn't want VWAP. Tesla is at 348, so Tesla's getting very, very close to retesting that 350. Here's NVIDIA, no 135 break yet, no test of VWAP, just kind of diddling in the middle here on NVIDIA. Uber is still, I mean, it's still holding underneath VWAP, just did another, I don't know, test of VWAP, and looks like the 78 has bounced once, twice, 3, 4 times you've now bounced off the lows on a 3-minute chart, so look to take that scalp range here again. Yeah, Tesla, now all of a sudden I'm like, Tesla doesn't want to get to 350? Is that how it's going to be? Lower high here on Tesla. Going to give it a chance. It's above VWAP. The market is strong since the open. You know, let it get to that price. You don't want to rush in. The mistake yesterday was trading, you know, Tesla levels that we didn't want to. It's that simple, so I'm not going to force the action at that price. All right, Alibaba, as I saw it pull back, you know, now all of a sudden you're trying to revert that trend. There's your hold of 112. You've got a nice little trend down, looking for it to retake trend to the upside. And then we'll go back into the long on Alibaba, as I also just heard Big Bear is moving.
Yep, it is. There goes Big Bear AI. Nice little move straight up to the upside right now as Big Bear AI. Taking names right now. Nice trade there for BBAI.
It's not a bear stock.
No, it's this hasn't been bearish for a minute, man. This is a good one here. I just want to show everybody that my average price on Apple is getting worse, right? Sometimes you guys ask, hey, why is the average price getting better? That's when we're averaging down, and that's what we did right here. But as we continue to get out of this winning trade, it starts to take the new price. So our first price down there was 228.30s, right? That was the big long that we had. Now we're taking our average price. So I just saw, you know, I actually didn't see it this time, but we often get questions about it, and I was like, okay, let me address it now because this is a good example of it working the other way. So, all right, guys, some more outs on Apple there in the 80s. Sorry. Again, look where we're getting out. We talked about it. This is like a 1-to-1 trade with trying to hold something for the move back in, right at the end here. So hopefully this move happens and we can get it. If not, we're stopping out on this VWAP. Well, now VWAP's right there, but we are going to stop out at 229.30 break. So we'll pay attention for that. What's up, Adara?
We have TEM up to the upside. We just talked about Big Bear AI, another AI named Tempest. In case you missed it, this company actually does have involvement here. Nancy Pelosi involved in the stock this morning. They announced they're going to be reporting their 2024 financial results on February 24th. So they just announced when they're reporting their earnings. That seems to be the only catalyst for this run, but it has gotten a lot more retail attention since Nancy Pelosi announced her involvement in the stock or filed for her involvement. They also have a decent short float, around 20%, guys. TEM.
Decent short flow. I keep forgetting that Tempest is also a short name as well. But yeah, good look over there. Thank you very much there, Dara. Thank you for the super chat there. Tisha Perkins. Sean, are you still looking at AIFF? That will be Firefly, which is still moving around here. All right, AMD could do a reversion any second now, but Firefly still flying around, and it is at that big 450 level load. It's hold on to VWAP. $4 was clearly the good buy zone. You look at a daily chart, that's going to be great for it, but taking the stairs to the upside, as long as it's above 4, the longs should be good. Right now, the focus to me is on A, Alibaba, which is trying to hold VWAP, B, Uber, which is trying to press higher, and C, Palantir, which all of a sudden, Palantir is looking the highs in the rear, which is not looking good. So we had twice, first long, bounced into what was an all-time high at the moment, but now you're losing VWAP very, very distinctly here on PLTR, starting to look weak. It might actually get down to that support from earlier that we're talking about, like down in this 114 and here at that 115 level as well for PLTR. Didn't think this was going to happen. I thought we were on another breakout trade.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, we'll lots of opportunity to get that back there on Palantir. I'm going to take a 117 break long. So if we can break 117, we'll go long here on Palantir. That would be above the 200 period moving average right now on the 1 minute chart. And we'll look to see if we can break back above there on PLTR. Apple still, I've only traded one name. Neil's been in 3 so far with Uber, Palantir, and something else. Baba, which he's in. Oh, Uber's out, I guess, right there. So, yeah, look, I'm just going to stay doing what we're doing right now. But there's Apple. It doesn't look like it wants to break 230, so I'm going to put another offer. We said that we would try to hold something for the long push. And if it comes in, great. My next offer is not until 230.50s. So hopefully we can get, though. Let's check in on a little bit of energy here if we can, as it's 9:51. Remember, we do have Powell coming up at 10 o'clock. Randy said XOM was on a ripper, I think, but a little bit to the downside, not really doing too much right now, XOM. But it did have, what just happened there? Okay, Palantir, there goes Palantir. Okay, your boy's in it right now. So Palantir, we talked about that 117. There it is, a nice little break up. How high did we fly there? All right, so we get some out at 15s right now. Nice trade here for Palantir, Neil. Oh yeah, there it goes, man. We'll drop it down just a little bit. Let's see where we go for PLTR right now. Yeah, just a quick little trade there, upside. There is a lot of volume, obviously, in this name at these key levels. So we'll trade it there. Breakouts, as we said, haven't really been working out too well. So we'll take out a little bit there on the upside of Palantir. And now we'll wait to see. We do have that 117 flat long right now. So let's see how high this name wants to fly, if at all, right here for Palantir. We know it's a slippery slope, so watch out, man. 116, we'll just play off this bottom, 116.25, maybe 116 flat here for Palantir. Nice move up, but a little bit of a break fail there. We'll get some out here at 90 and then see if it wants to fly higher. So some for a 10 or 20 cent winner. I think the best we got was 27s there, and then some out there for 10 cent hits. So we'll have to watch out for Palantir. But really, we're going to go 2 for 2 here if Palantir can go. But right now, that's a big if. Apple starting to make that move too. We just got some more out here at 230 for Apple. But my focus now, I guess, is on Palantir because it's a little more exciting. So we'll have to wait to see what happens right now with PLTR as the NASDAQ just takes out highs. That's what just helped Palantir there, obviously. So. Yeah, so far so good there. SMCI is breaking, I see.
SMCI is going. NVIDIA is also trying to go. It doesn't get to VWAP, doesn't get to that 133, but it is bull flagging here on NVIDIA. Ooh, missing a little bit. Ignore VWAP on my chart. That's going to be wrong because it's missing a little bit of data. That's actually closer to 133, so that's going to be where VWAP is. But you could get a 135 break. Clearly, you've got a bull flag in a different spot, and it's 133.75 where they're picking it up. So I'm going to try bidding in there. We talk about wanting to join this when it's going to the upside. It doesn't press to 128 or 130 even. Well, just get in on the bull flag for this name. AMD, this is what being patient is all about this time, and not just jumping in willy-nilly. AMD pressing into yesterday's highs, up here at 111.20, yesterday's top, actually 111.30. So looking for a mean reversion on AMD. It's got to break this upward trend, then I look for the short. Tesla's still doing not much of anything, so I don't know what to do with Tesla if it doesn't get to 350. It's holding underneath VWAP, getting a little bit impatient. BABA's trying to hold VWAP itself, but these are pretty mild bounces happening now in Alibaba. If we lose VWAP, we're going to get out. Oh yeah, Powell in 5 minutes. Remember, this is testimony. He's giving testimony today, so we don't really, there's no expectation that he'll say things that move the market, but he will obviously end up commenting on the economy and commenting on inflation. So we'll keep you guys abreast of anything that comes from that. Just no guarantee that there's going to be anything market moving. But anytime he opens his mouth, you want to be aware of it. Adair is going to be all over it. That starts in 5 minutes, everybody.
Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully it's prepared remarks. Okay, so just because we went long Palantir, not just because we went long Palantir, but Apple obviously is having a hard time at this 230 level. So we just took a little bit more out there. We've had now 3 or 4 multiple outs in this area of 230. So, okay, well, we just broke. So there it goes. The Apple trade's a big one. So we'll just, We'll stack it up, but it just did break out through that level. And I was just showing you that these were the hits that we were willing to sort of absorb there, and we're trying to get it to get going through that top side. So the last little reload there, 229.60s on Apple, out at O's, and then there's the drop down through. We actually get a great price. We get 30, it's not great now, but we did get 39s on that one. Okay, what was a good trade? Maybe now not. Okay, well, here comes Palantir back up. We'll see if we can get a move through the 50s now. But we're long right now at 60s. Okay, there it comes. Palantir reloaded position. We'll get some more out. Okay, now it's going. All right, well, we just make back on Palantir. Now Apple goes back up, but we just made it back there on Palantir, what we sort of lost on Apple on that dip. So that's the problem. When you go long two heavyweights that are going to follow the NASDAQ, you got to be careful with it. But here we go. Palantir, nice upside move. We'll see where we can get out now. Looking to get something in the 80s here. 70s, and then up into the 80s. But again, right back to the 200 period moving average. Hasn't been great buying the longs in the last little while. That Apple trade, look, still the banger of the day. We actually still make our daily goal on that one for Apple. And then now we're adding to that Palantir. Big stock alert now, Neil, as we get right back into... Let's go, guys. This is what we're doing. 2 for 2 right now today. Big time trading, man. You guys are here for that, I hope. Big trades right there. Nice trade. Neil's got Alibaba. We've got Uber before. I really like the Uber long. We'll check that back. But here goes Palantir. Nice move now. 80 cents in the money, Neil, on Palantir.
Go Palantir. Is that one rockets to the upside? First small cap of the day for me. Shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be Firefly. AIFF, it gets me because it has nothing to do with necessarily Firefly. But mean reversion trade. It doesn't get to $4, but it holds on to VWAP on a trend break. So if you don't get the level, I want it bouncing off VWAP and holding trend. Basically the same entry that Alibaba did. So if it breaks the prior bar low, we're going to jump out. Okay, well, actually this low in here. So there's a break of trend. The prior bar is this one at 415. If we lose that, I'm out of AIFF. And this is a must trade with a stop. Not that I would ever trade this without a stop order or anything without a stop order, but with this case, if it loses a bid, you could go 10% to the downside. So we're going to keep it relatively tight underneath that 415 level. Alibaba is heading back into the upside. Did not get filled on... Yeah, we didn't get filled on NVIDIA, and Tesla's heading lower as well. We'll get to those in a quick little second. Baba headed right back into the top. It's a triple top, counting the pre-market high up here. So I'm going to respect it and want to get out and take profit in front of that one on Alibaba. But AIFF, Firefly, I want to say flying higher, but right now it's gliding higher, just like that subscriber count is. 240 away from 500,000. Check that, 235 away.
Yeah, it's happening.
Or 36 away. Thank you so much, everybody. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's do it today. Let's not wait. Let's enjoy it and together. And thank you so much for all the support that you guys give us. And sometimes for reminding us of the names that are moving and the opportunities out there. We're all here to get better together, everybody. Shout out to you, Omega Zero. BBAI also making a power move. There's a lot of small cappers in there, not just Firefly, even though that's up 43%.
Yeah, we'll be hitting that today. So we'll be getting it probably in the next half hour. Everyone, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Let's get going on all of that. Thank you so much to everybody. Over 13,000 people watching live. They must love the action that we've done right here. Palantir, $40 in the money right now. Wow, people are really hitting this thing.
Damn.
I don't know what we have planned for this, but hopefully, I don't know. We're going to get this immediately. Yeah, as I said, I don't know who's planning any of this, but there goes Apple right now, right through 230. So we did dump that. Thank you so much to everybody. We are starting to ramp up right now as over 120 away right now as we get going. Neil riding that pony. So let's get going, Neil. There it is, Neil. Let's go, Neil. Come on, Neil. Get on that horse, Neil. Let's get going.
That's what I'm talking about.
Man, I've never seen Neil more excited. This is absolutely fantastic.
I love it.
So,
I absolutely love it.
Yeah, me too. Let's go. Glad to get that energy going right now as we do approach right now 500, less than 100 away. Who cares about these trades, man?
Market's breaking the highs if we get
230 on Apple. The market's going. Hi, Ram. How's it going right now? Hey, Sharif, how's it going? We should be going live on Instagram maybe right now. I don't know if we are or not. Yeah, but right now, Palantir log, everyone going crazy. We've basically got it. It's 9:57 right now. 40 away from the big dog right now as Apple ripping upside. Hi, Ramin. How's it going? Right there. We do appreciate you. 10 away. 10, 9,
it's over.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. That is it. We did it. All right. High five, Neil.
That's
high
what
five,
I'm talking
Ramin.
about.
She's throwing her glasses around. High five, Sharif. High five, Joe. High five, everybody. Brendan. There it is. We are confident that this number is just the beginning. So we're going to get ready to go, man. Look at this. What is going on? We've been attacked. We're going upside. Elon cannot stop us now.
Oh, heck no. Elon's going to try and buy us now.
Come on, Elon.
No, thank you, Elon. But we'll buy Twitter from you.
About Apple right now. Apple 230 right now. But there it is, man. We are now all beat up right now. That was a great trade. A great opportunity to watch that. 500. This is really, we've never seen like a surge in that. So thank you. That was very, very impressive.
Thank
right
you,
there.
Tristan, in the chat. Appreciate it. Tristan with the congratulations super chat. Thank you so much, Tristan. But thank everybody. Like,
look, Apple, by the way.
Team effort, man. Like, this is what it's all about. A couple of things. Tesla just hit the low of the day. So obviously that one missed opportunity to the short side. Firefly trying to break this 470. So it has a double top since the open, but like a triple top since the pre-market. So I want to make sure we're profiting in front of that. Alibaba's right back at the highs. I said if it fails this top, we're getting out. So if it breaks trend, we're jumping out of Alibaba. Let's go to Adara. We've got happening now. Oh yeah, I think Powell's also talking too.
Right now, Powell's not talking. I'm just seeing shots of senators looking at and talking to each other. What it seems like we have remarks coming through from Powell. Perhaps these are prepared remarks because currently Fed Chair Powell has not said a word yet, and the meeting has not even really begun. So be aware that Fed Chair Powell will be speaking, and I will keep you guys apprised. I just heard the gavel go, so I guess this meeting's getting kicked off. But also getting kicked off here is the market, much like that 500,000 push. Thank you to everyone for subscribing. We have the Qs pushing higher too, breaking high of days. Same with that S&P 500, though the SPY is struggling a bit with 604. We have Intel and all of these semiconductor-related stocks, including NVIDIA, pretty strong today. We have reports from Wall Street Journal that J.D. Vance, vice president, has warned U.S. allies to keep AI regulation, quote, light. And then also here, keep an eye on TSLA pushing lower despite the push up in the market, just as we have some concerns from analysts like Oppenheimer that Musk and his consortium's bid for OpenAI could be a bit of a distraction for the company. Then last but not least, Shopify dropping pretty hard here. They did have earnings. The company's CFO saying that their 3-month trial move and the lack of significant pricing changes could actually impact their subscriber growth. So thank you guys so much here for subscribing. Speaking of subscriptions, back to you.
Right. I mean, they're not even stopping right now. So we want to thank everybody for ramping that up. But I mean, and look what we have right now. 14,000 viewers. So I don't know if Ramin or Fabian or someone's building something. I'd love to tweet this out if we can get a graphic or something to celebrate this. So thank you so much to everybody there in the chat. There's been some fan funding. We'll get to it in a minute. I'm long Palantir, but thank you, Nimrod, as well. I'm going to get to all this, Sarah, as well. But Palantir right here, we are long again off 116. 16. It looks like we did have, sorry, it was Apple I'm looking at right there. Look at that Apple give up. 14,000. This might be a record, I think, all-time intraday record right now for us. Unfortunately, man, we were disciplined there. Apple did break that low, but we could have done a little bit better on that and waited for VWAP. But again, that kind of sucks. But we do get it back here. Palantir now starting to go back up. We did get hit on Palantir. It did break lower, but we'll see if it can support this level right now. And I'm just trying to scalp it out again. We are prop traders trading actual equity right now, and we have again, when you're trading on prop, you have different backing and whatnot. So, I'm not trading in here, like 10 shares or anything like that. So when we get moves like this, it is important that you understand the risk tolerance that we have, maybe as opposed to some of you guys there as well. So like when this goes up 20 cents or so, it's actually a decent area for me to begin to maybe think about scalping out. And like there it goes right now. We'll take some more out at 35 as we continue to grow this. So we'll wait to see if it can pop up a lot higher than that. But I could see a bunch of funding coming in, Neil.
My goodness.
I have too many shares.
I can get to it because I just got out of Alibaba and maybe, look, it wicked the high, said I was getting out of this stock. If it retested that triple top up here on the daily, remember this is a big level area on Alibaba, and my gut was telling me that it was going to be a bit of a reversion. So it has happened 2 times. We've gone 112 and VWAP back into that 114.5. But we got a wealth of super chats that we got to get to. Thank you so much to Rookie Cooker.
Oh yeah!
Congrats! And here's a little contribution for lunch money. If it weren't for you guys, I would never have started day trading. Good luck. Day trading is not easy. That's why this whole thing started, because it's all about sharing the community and all trying to get better together and focusing on what's actually happening.
Right.
There's other places you can look at the market. By the way, AIFF's in an up halt right now. I saw the piece on. It's in an up halt. The tap is flat because it's a NASDAQ stock, so you don't get an update on that. Bbot, thank you so much. Congrats as well on the 500K. We have a new membership here from Sue Bartenders. Sue Bartender. Yeah.
Got it.
As I read it loud, it's like you bungled that one up there. Nick W, thank you as well. Another congratulations. I feel like these are all congrats. Oh no, I just lost it right there. We'll get that back. And I think there is one more in here. It was Sarah.
Thank you.
Sarah Bradett.
Yep.
Let's go, Sarah, as well. Sarah Bradett. At first I was going to say Burdett, but it is
Right.
So shout out to all of our viewers and anybody that's in this community. That's what it's all about. And I'm assuming Tisha's probably pretty happy, or some people are happy about this AIFF. It had just broke $5 and halted to the upside. And I scalped out into the high. We'll hold on to the last 20%. And at this point, looking at the daily chart in here, we knew there was some resistance here at the 480 level. I'm going to put my trail at 480 and see how much of this gap it can try to fill in here. Still has 520 up top, going all the way back to August of last year. We'll put the trailing stop in and see how far it goes.
Look, everyone watching right now, we have record viewers. And I just want to say, like, anybody that thought they had heard about this channel and what are we doing over here? This is what we're doing. Like, we are bringing the energy. We're bringing you trade ideas. This Palantir is now, and we have fun things like this, is now $1 in the money as we go to the upside. And again, it's not like we just, talk about these trades. These are active trades. We're sitting in these names. We're buying equity. That's not options. It's not CFDs, nothing like that. This is the most realist show. We can get that guy off the screen. There's absolutely we don't need to put him on there at all. So right now we do have, again, just a lot of hype here, and we have a Dara on the desk. If there's anything with Powell, we will get to that ASAP. But there's Palantir right there, out at the 50, out at VWAP. Let's wait to see what winds up happening right now with PLTR. But again, thank you to everybody there in the chat. I had to throw over to Neil. We did have a pretty big upsized position right there. So let's just keep on getting it out. It's too bad we got out of Apple. Look, these are 2 huge stocks for me today. And we're going to go 2 for 2. And again, you guys can ask us anything you want in the chat. For those that are new, you can ask us green or red. What's our number 1 stock, how we've been doing, what we're looking at, what we're thinking about, what our current positions are, anything like that. Please ask. And then there's Neil's in this as well. So there's AIFF right now, halted at 5. So we'll wait to see what happens. It's going to be, I guess it's a 10-minute halt, or we'll figure out where this
should be 5-minute
halt. Okay, so just halting on nothing extraordinary there. Limit up, limit down. So a nice little move there for AIFF. Let's see where it opens, and we'll trade it accordingly. So far, so good there. Missed trade for sure, though. I'm all over. I could show you my blotter right now. I have offer Tesla, 349.75. Offer Tesla, 340. Come to the chart, 349.40. Offer Tesla, 348.50. Offer Tesla, 348. It never came. Like that level right there, we were not at 348. We were at 348.50. We got missed by, I think, 3 cents. But Tesla right now, nice downside play. So let's go over and talk about AIFF, because that's going to be a good one.
It should open it should be 1 minute. Look, if Firefly doesn't open in a minute, then that's when you know it's a 10-minute halt. It's just that simple. I think maybe like 1 out of every 1,000 times on a volatility halt, it'll be longer than 10 minutes. I don't think that'll be the case here. Looks like the tap is currently saying $5.10. It's such an obvious 480 high that initially off the open, if it flushes through that, I don't mind jumping out of this, because we've seen this sort of failed break before. You already went over Tesla. It's, all the exuberance in Tesla. It's one thing to like the short, it's another thing to actually be in it. And of course, today is the day that the Tesla short was a little bit more simplistic. Yesterday it wasn't an easy short. Today it was, and still not in that. AMD looking like it wants to give back. That was the other name I was looking for the short trade. But in that moment when it was reverting, and I would have taken it, that was when we were getting into the Alibaba bounce off of VWAP as well. So I was tracking Alibaba. This is held 112 on the Apple News, and then held VWAP, just triple topped. Let's see if it can hold VWAP one more time. So I'm going to go back to the well with Baba. When we sat down today, did we know that Apple and Alibaba were going to be the big ones off the open? No, you can't know that. But you can know the news seconds after it drops and then be able to react. So that's what we're going to do. All right, AIFF, which is Firefly, is back open. It just pressed into 550. Yeah, if it loses the previous halt level, then I should want to get out. So I'm just going to pop it underneath the halt level. There is overhead resistance around the $6 level on the daily. So I want to see it make a fresh high, and then I can move the trail on AFF. We scalped 80% of it out. Now we're just holding on to the trail. If it loses that halt price, we'll jump out of the trade. Otherwise, hold. There it is. So I was going to hold for the dream if we could break that fresh high, but I'm just getting out underneath that trail. Do not like a failed break and a failed halt at the same time. I'm going to bank it, see if we can't get VWAP again. And remember, Alibaba, we're looking to buy VWAP as well.
Okay, good trade there on AIFF. But here we go right now with PLTR. We just bought 16s again. So I've only ever been on 2 names here today, Palantir and Apple, and both been good. And Neil was saying, like, you could have not known, as Neil mentioned, we didn't know this news was going to happen, but there's the break. And I was really late to the party, which is, I think, why we were able to fall back a little bit there, and we were able to reload it again. Apple going to be my #1 stock, despite everything we're doing here on Palantir, because Palantir, we lost it right there, which is still fine. Nice move back up, nice reload again right here. If we break through 75, then we're going to get out. But we just reloaded at 116 flat and just got more out there in the 20s as we are right here. So just trying to add to the pie here a little bit on my friend and yours and Mr. Karp, Palantir there. So we just got some more out. I'm not loving this trade. The market is not doing anything, and neither is Palantir at these levels. So I feel like it could drip down and break lower. Like if this market cracks lower, Palantir is a huge short. So I just want to let everybody know that we are getting out for 25-cent hit, because look, the most this is going up is 25 cents right now, right? My stop order is at 115.75 break. So if it breaks out, which it might do right now, then this reload would kind of be a 50-50 trade, which I'm fine with. And we just said this market is looking a little weak here on Palantir. I don't know if I want to go short this name per se, because I'll be too mad if we lose on the short and we give back what we had made there. But it is looking weak, and my hands are off. The stop order is already in. So if it does break, we're not going to be stubborn. We're going to get out, and then we will just literally regroup on what we're thinking here on Palantir, because I'm thinking short. So I don't necessarily, there it goes. So I don't necessarily want to be in it right now. But there goes a break there on Palantir. No, I'll hit a fail because we're being honest about our last trades, and that was a fail right there on Palantir. I thought it could go, but at least we saw that and we're able to get out for a net zero trade. So, all right, that's
Net zero.
Yeah, I would have liked for it to get.
No, you remember Net Zero?
Is that?
Isn't that was the internet service provider?
No. Netscape.
No, Net Zero was.
Internet provider.
Remember that you got like the CD. Anyway.
Maybe, yeah.
I just dated the living you know what out of myself with that one.
Was it Canadian?
Yeah, it was kind of
okay.
I think I had that in university to get internet. I'm pretty sure.
You know what? The thing is, like, I remember having something called like Arachnid or something. Like, there was so many providers
that was the
back
thing,
then.
right?
No, that was dial-up.
That was the thing back.
Now we're really dating ourselves.
In like 2000.
Poor Joe doesn't even know that AOL sound. You know.
Yo, we had that AOL up in there with the of course.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, you guys can see. I got a little bit gray hair. We're going to go to Adara for a quick little update. Just one thing. AIFF, which is Firefly, NVIDIA's creeping above VWAP, but AIFF is still pressing underneath that whole price. Could get a VWAP retest.
Look at Apple.
Re-entry there.
Crazy.
And we might end up just taking a break on NVIDIA. If we don't get that dip into the lows, it might end up being a breakout trade. Let's go to Adara.
Gotta get something long.
Keep an eye here on SCHW, that is Charles Schwab. In case you missed it yesterday, TD Bank announced they'd be selling their stake in Charles Schwab. Now they've actually priced that sale. So Charles Schwab actually pushed lower on the announcement. Now they're pushing higher because these shares are up for sale here. $79.25 each. The stock currently trading above $83. So SCHW on the move. Also, nothing significant happening right now with the Powell testimony. Powell hasn't even spoken yet. They just have the opening senators just saying their remarks, guys.
Just saying to Sean, the last time this is a Tesla comment, but it's going to start with Rivian, so it's going to sound weird. The last time Rivian, which has been a good long off 10s and 12s, got up to like 15, 16, I actually sold a piece in my personal account. I want to sell the rest of it because if Tesla continues this downward trend, please, thank you, 200 period moving average. I'm not saying it's going there, but I'm going to throw some stink bids underneath 300 on Tesla, just so that if there's any kind of a panic day, we want to be able to grab it. It's only down 2 points today, but this could be the first VWAP test since 10 o'clock or like 9:50 on this little bit of a bounce here in Tesla. It's been lower highs. If we get a curl into VWAP, that might just be the only opportunity we get. Alibaba looks like no bounce. See, it's been dipping heavily on Alibaba, like big dip at the open, dip into VWAP the second time when it got to this level. This time it's not getting back into VWAP and letting us back in here on Baba. Still want to play this to the long side, up 2.5% on the Apple partnership. I don't know. Apple partnership. Yeah, it's a partnership. We can call it a partnership. That's exactly what it is.
Sure.
The other name that we haven't traded today, which was part of the plan, and sometimes that's just how it is. Shopify.
Is too much, dude.
Load up Shopify here. Shopify actually losing VWAP and losing the bid. It's not over yet, though, because you had this higher low at 114 on Shop, but didn't think we were going to be trading at that when it was a 125. Suddenly you've got a downward trend, some lower highs, but we've bounced, break of the trend. I want to go long into Shop. Wasn't that bad of a report. It was like a revenue guide that missed for Shopify. Everything else was pretty much a beat for Shop. Canada.
Yeah, exactly. Canada for that one. Nice move there for Shopify late on that. I am like, when you get that, first of all, new position alert. I forgot to mention, I was just going to throw up in my mouth a little bit for Apple, so we'll do that. We won't actually do that, but that's kind of like what I feel like right there. But there it goes, man. 78 long. We take actually 78.11. Something out here at 20. Just a little scalp out of 10%, sorry, like we always do. We're going to wait to see if we get a little bit more. I've liked Uber all day long here, but I actually liked it where we had it yesterday at 77. So if this breaks below right here, we're going to watch out for that pre-market low of 77.80s or so. But again, it's a little tricky there. I was going to actually bid. I can't believe that Apple's at 232 right now and still ripping. It's too bad where we wind up getting out of Apple. But okay, so just quickly on Uber. I was going to put a bid in and around here, 77.90, so I actually just changed my mind on that. I'm going to put it there. I was a little bit higher. I could see this fading a little bit. And then my stop would be that 77.79. So basically this kind of, what level is that? Is it 69 or 79? 69. So this break, we want to get out if it breaks the pre-market low. So let's just see if Uber, I keep saying Apple, if Uber wants to go higher. If so, great. But that's the trade that we're in right now. This is the one right now, like Apple. Apple, we didn't have a whole bunch of shares because this was a reload. We had already done this. We talked about being stubborn. We didn't want it to fall back in. And all of a sudden, we wind up giving up a little bit of what we made. So we didn't wind up doing that. But still, at the end of the day, it looks like it'll be a good trade here for Apple to have held all the way to the top. So good trading there. That's my plan of action for Uber. So get some more at 90, drop it if it breaks 70. Right now, the trade I'm working with is Uber.
For the first time today, I'm into Shopify. It's a trend from underneath VWAP that we're going to enter into the long side. It bounced off 114 here and then broke. There's your lower high. There's our close above, and then there's the break. Hopefully we can get into VWAP and repress that 120 level. The other thing, I guess AIFF doesn't. Oh, perfect time. We're going to go to Adair for the small cap recap,
Boom.
but just one note here on Firefly. After failing that hull price, no pullback into VWAP, which is the volume-weighted average price. So a few questions about that when we've been talking about it. We have videos on our other channel. But there goes Firefly, now 550. This could go into another up halt. This could be a multiple halt situation today for AIFF, which is perfect timing for us to talk about small caps with Adara.
Let's do this.
We're going to do today's small cap recap from the desk as I continue to listen to comments from Fed Chair Powell. Right now, he's just reading his prepared remarks. He has not been questioned as of yet, so just nothing to really react to. We already had those prepared remarks basically coming out and circulating on X, and it's a lot of reiteration of things we already knew. But in terms of small caps, AIFF actually not on here. We're going to be some different ones, but this 226 level in IWM is extremely fascinating here. We're down about 2/3% here on the IWM, and if you see here, we've rejected this 226 3 times now on that 15-minute chart. So this is quite the level for the Russell 2000. We'll have to see if we're able to continue to hold that support here around 224 halves. OCEA is doing great. This is a penny stock hanging out around that 25-cent level. Ocean Biomedical basically announcing that their some newly published research findings demonstrate the ability of its proprietary cancer immunotherapy candidates. So some immunotherapy treatment news here for OCEA. Then we have LICN. This is a Chinese ADR. It's also a penny stock trading about 9 cents right now. Basically, yesterday we had this announcement. They've acquired 40% equity in this Bondley Enterprises for a $5.3 million acquisition. They've got a float of about 7.5 million shares. It's also worth noting this news on OCEA is also day 2. So both OCEA and LICN moving on day 2 catalyst, which is pretty interesting. But there is a day 1 catalyst for THRD. This was actually down 25% in the day, but I wanted to include it because we are trying to get a little bit of a push up here with some volume on the scanner. That's how it came to my attention. Basically here announcing they're going to be doing a strategic review after their phase 1 trial for one of their treatments. It doesn't sound like this went badly. They said it supports the advancement of their study, but strategic review, I guess, THRD on watch with a notable 21% short float, guys. THRD. Back to you.
Thank you very much there, Adara. Powell's now taking questions here. So, this is when it could get a little bit more interesting. We'll keep our ear to the ground. Obviously, any fresh news happens and we'll be all over it for you guys. I just saw in the chat, and shout out to our chat, which is a fantastic community, as all of you know, SMCI, heavy candle through VWAP. So they report tonight. It's been a hot minute for them, down 5% after a monster day yesterday. Let me just quickly show you guys. There's yesterday, big mover, but it could not break that 42. Bit of a reversion here. This loses 40, it could run into some trouble. And all of a sudden, Intel is now going ham? Intel, yeah, that Intel, up 6% to the upside. If there's something happened, I just heard we're probably throwing to Adara. This is a big time breakout. Wow, it's already gone through that 2060. What's the news here, Adara?
No, I don't have intel that I still don't know about, but we do have Bitcoin here on watch. We do have comments from one of these senators basically talking about how Fed Chair Powell has said, banks can get involved in crypto as long as, they're responsible, they're aware of the risks. So just be aware here, keep an eye on that with regards to Powell answering questions on the crypto space. So BTC on watch.
Bitcoin on watch, that 97 level, still trying to get going. There hasn't been a red candle here on Intel since the open. It's now at 21. Oh my goodness, this is, okay. Let's just be patient with it, Neil. It's getting very, up at 21 and a half. This was a obvious top to support, to resistance. 21 and a half is a revert. Let it get there. It's that simple. You get to that 21, 30 to 40 level and then play up in there. That's where the revert is. Don't short it too early. I'm saying that out loud to myself because the last time it did this, I shorted it too early. Tried it 3 times and failed. And the 4th time, had I tried it a 4th time, would have been fantastic. So patience with Intel. There's no red candles on this. It's an absolute rocket ship right now.
So we were like dead on. Oh, thanks. We already said thank you for this, didn't we? Thank you for the $100 there. Rookie cooker. So if I missed this, here's a little contribution lunch money. Yeah, we did talk about that. Thank you so much for that rookie cooker. So yeah, we'll do something again. We talked about, we can do some wings again, or we throw it out here, get some shawarmas, or figure that out. Yeah, I know you want to do axe throwing, but we're talking.
Actually, I have an idea.
Lunch.
If we're doing for a treat, we should get those cannolis, man.
Oh yeah, we can always get some cannolis. Yeah. Okay, I'll bring those in tomorrow, if I can remember. Well, okay. So the thing is, it's better to have them bringing them absolutely in fresh. So I'll phone. No, I'll just phone. How many people?
It wasn't gonna put you on the spot. It's just There's a really great cannoli place.
I could get some cannolis. This is not a problem. I was just gonna say we have like 10 or so plus the guys in the back. Okay, we'll figure it all out. We'll get those tomorrow, hopefully fresh. But I want to make sure that they're all ready to go. You don't want to get in there. They're gone like really early, but we're
and
here.
There's a reason why.
We're here
early. Trust me.
Okay, but there's pistachio.
I went
cannolis.
nuts on
There's pistachio.
You saw the look on my face when I had those cannolis.
Maybe I'll get an assorted. You like pistachio over there, Joe?
Of course.
You don't mind it? Not good enough. You have to say you like it. So. You've never had a cannoli?
Joe, you're about to have your life changed. I'm just going to throw it out there.
I thought you were Italian.
Never had
I don't. Never had a cannoli.
Yeah,
everything's all right over there? Yeah, okay. Everything's
really?
Okay, good. All right, yeah, we're just playing around. Surprising fact of the day.
Well, I'm surprised too.
Yeah, me too.
You learn something. The more you know. The more you know.
The more you know.
Whoa, AI.
Potentially the best dessert
down,
of all time. All right, what happened?
Firefly is now halted down.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for these.
Right, yeah, that's the thing. Like always trade. We said always trade these with a stop. That's why I had the trail in this earlier. But it's still above VWAP. It's still technically higher lows. It's above that 480 level, which was the actual breakout price. But current down halt at $4.77 here on Firefly. First time of the day, I believe. Down halt's had one up halt. It's had one down halt. It's still up 54%. Let me just go back to Alibaba. Sometimes this happens with the Chinese ADRs. Like they're great, and then they just decide to slow down. So it might be in that phase where patience is required for Alibaba. No pullback into VWAP, but it's not breaking out. I think I just wait for it to give us the next dip. Just in shop, it's basically at the same price it was before.
Let's go Uber.
And then Intel, of course, we're waiting for Intel.
Oh yeah, Intel. You mentioned.
Want Intel to get to that 21.5 on Intel. We're waiting for
21.5. Oh boy, we're getting close to selling, I think, our Intel. Hey, Eric Teal, thank you so much for the comments. After Sean's passionate rant last week, how could you not like and subscribe? Come over to the. Miss Ramin, what is up? Right there. Yeah, right there. Thank you so much. Oh, not that one. I did forget to take shop at 115. Oh, no. Oh, there it was right there. Eric Teal, what's up after the passionate rant? Neil's in Shopify right now. I don't know if it's at 115 now or not. But how could you not like and subscribe? Well, thank you. I just hope everybody likes and subscribes regardless of, obviously, who's on the desk here. We have Neil, myself, Joe, Sharif, Obi, Adara, and Brendan. So that's pretty much the 5 or 6 of us right there. And tonight, again, we have earnings recap show. So that's another thing if you're watching us for the first time. That is tonight. It will talk about, it'll be Adara and I, and then we'll just have like a whole bunch of earnings. And we will also have Brian Shannon. And you can go over there to, it's all over. TTV Research has it there as well. I tweeted it out a couple days. There it is right here. So go find this right now. It's all over our socials. Post-market today, right? Tuesday. DoorDash, Supermicro, Gilead, Upstart, Zillow, and Lyft with more names as well. Tomorrow's absolutely a monster day with Reddit, Fastly, Robinhood, and then it just comes back right again and punches you in the face again on Thursday with more. So we're really excited, man, to keep on bringing you all this action. Like, if you think today was exciting, wait till you see tomorrow. I don't know. I feel like every day we're bringing it here anyways. So, all right. Uber, more outs, guys. That's a good trade for me. We got more out there at 25s. Actually, I think we got some 25s and 127. So a nice out there for me on Uber as we continue to fly just a little bit northbound here. But it's not doing much, so I don't want to be like, this is a trade that I'm really liking. The only trade that I'm disappointed in, I'm happy with Palantir. I mean, we wouldn't have liked to see that, but this is a situation right there where I think we could probably get long right now on Palantir. We had wrote down 114 on this as like the sort of the big level, but it's Apple. It's Apple that is right now up 2.5% and just rip city shit out to Portland. This just keeps on going, man. We had this name. It was our number one take early. It's going to be the P&L number one, not even close. But at the end of the day, missed opportunity there for Apple because we had dropped it at the very low. Like Adara had said thank you to me for explaining to her about getting wicked out at bottoms. That wick out is $4 ago. So everyone do the math right there. We are not super happy with that, but at the end of the day, it's number one P&L name. Like I said, we made more on Apple today than we actually wound up losing on Tesla yesterday. So, and I was peed off about that. So we come back, you screw your head on right again, and you just enter the trade and go for it. So yeah, we're not shy about putting on some trades over here, that's for sure. Good call. I mean, I'll look at Shopify, but right now maybe it's Tesla. I mean, this market is absolutely ripping. I'm disappointed
Tesla's still under VWAP.
Is it? Okay, I was gonna have a look there. I'm still disappointed that Uber's not moving higher, so that might be, Uber's either gonna be a huge rip up, this is Tesla, or Uber's in trouble because it's not moving on market breaking and market going green. So we're a little nervous about that. Yeah, I don't know if I like VWAP anymore. This is way down now, like down 2% in a green market. Risky times shorting this unless you wait for the 200, which is up here at 347. I'm gonna wait for that on Tesla.
Yeah, so like right now, Shop's trying to get back into VWAP. It was just come to my chart for a second. Oh, and AIFF's open again. So there's the downward trend on Shopify from the double top. There's it breaking the trend, holding the higher low, take the break of that prior bar. Or I'm saying that too fast. So there is it holding the trend line, holds this low, breaks this prior bar, stop goes underneath here. That's like 116.25. If it can break out VWAP, I think it has room to run. Firefly it's open back up again. And we're chilling at 5. So no test of VWAP. That's that volume weighted average price again. For an indicator, if it respects it, I like it. So Firefly respected at the open, 930, those volatility moves. Sometimes indicators they're not going to matter. But right after the opening rush, it then starts holding VWAP again. So until VWAP is gone, I'm going to look for bounce plays. And in this case, it was just like Shopify, pulls back into VWAP. There's your trend down. Don't just sort of take it on the way down. Let it break the trend, then go for the long. That's what I want to see here on AIFF. If Firefly doesn't do it, we don't get in. Alibaba, I feel the same way about this as Apple. Like, I think you just want to try to stay in the long, but it's not moving yet. So want to get back into Baba. Think it should be down around the 113 level as we're going back to Adara for a crypto update. What is Bitcoin doing?
We are. Also, Powell's still talking, just so you guys know. But Powell actually said some crypto-related things. He was asked about debanking earlier, specifically with regards to crypto. And he said, quote, it's time to take a fresh look, frankly, at debanking. So he said that the Fed is not actually intentionally blocking crypto, but that sometimes things can happen, I guess, in the regulatory process, which could effectively lead to the blocking or debanking of crypto. So I think it's a pretty interesting point. And speaking of interesting, we have this rounded bottom forming on the daily chart of BTC. Now, of course, still kind of a higher low if you go in the grand scheme of things. But if you see here, we've had this kind of stagnation around that 96,000 level. We were closing just below 97 quite consistently. Then we get yesterday a push to the upside. Now today, still struggling to stay above 98,000, but holding the 97,000 level to a T. So potentially some strength could come back in here on the side of this BTC. We lots of strength here in Cardano, up 13%, but also Ethereum basically flat on the day. XRP up about 2%. BNB up about 5%. Cardano up about, as we mentioned here, almost 14%. So lots of strength here in this crypto space, but a little bit of mixed performance as we've seen quite a lot lately, guys. If I hear anything from Powell, I'll let you know. Back to you.
We said that I'm still looking. Thanks to Dara for all that. Yeah, crypto 97,000. I mean, she just looked at it. We can have a quick little look and rundown of IBIT. I mean, we don't have really too many coins really at all on this platform to trade as of yet. So our choices are going to be limited on what we can look at. But right now, IBIT not super like. I mean, the market's kind of going upside. I'm actually going to be looking for some shorts in the market right now. But if we come over to the chart right there, you can see you're just kind of hovering around 55. I think that if you're going to play the 200 period, that makes a little bit of sense because it's yesterday's kind of bottom right there that's matching with today's top. So yeah, we're underneath right now, IBIT, seeing some pressure. Maybe crypto is the short. Like as the market starts to bleed down, we talked about a relationship between the NASDAQ and crypto. That's a nice move up, and it was not followed with Bitcoin. So that could be a relative weak play into the market here today for IBIT. So yeah, I'm not confident right now to do that immediately. So that would be something that I want to watch here with IBIT. So we'll wait to see if that is a play or not. But I like the move downside there for IBIT. Would prefer it near the day's high around 55.20. So that could be a trade coming in now as well. I did hear some people yelling, yeah, Roblox. So Roblox had that investigation, right? And then they came right back. Yeah, I think it's still there on player totals or user numbers or something. But
yeah, it was something like that.
Roblox, look at this, down into VWAP.
Why is it still crashing? I don't know what's going on.
Not really crashing.
No, Roblox,
down into, I was gonna say down into VWAP there, down into VWAP there, down into VWAP again. Could be a decent long. Just came up on the scanner. Okay, we talked about if you're joining us for the first time, we have some cool graphics. All right, we're now reloaded. All right, so we just got Uber down there at, I thought I was bidding 90s. It looks like 92. So we get it right there at 92 right now. It does bump into 98. But we had mentioned that if this market had fallen in a little bit, which it's unfortunately doing, that Uber could be one of those victims. And it's not even really falling down that much. So, all right. What's my average price? Right here, 99. All right, nice move, Uber. Okay, let's take some out at 05s. All right, we did it. Sorry if we just crashed it down a little bit there. We're taking some more out at 05. Nice move there up for Uber. Was not expecting that one. Our average price is 99. We'll take out some 05s as Uber a little bit weak there. But if there's a buyer coming in, let's take advantage of that. Little bit of an upside move there. We only got out of 15%, but a nice upside move there for Uber. We always try to take a little bit when we get that kind of a bump. But let's hold out just in case we're right. But again, if Uber breaks the bottom, we are out. It is looking weaker. Probably a wrong call on this one, but temporary, man, temporary. Hopefully it can get going.
When I was saying Roblox crashing, I didn't mean the stock. I just meant...
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that story.
Yeah, Roblox for my daughter has been crashing since the weekend. Like I open it, maybe you get like 5 minutes on there. I've uninstalled it, I've reinstalled it. I've done all of the things that and I even checked out on YouTube for some solutions and, ask ChatGPT, not really Chat, I actually use Gemini, suggestions on how to fix it. Nothing is working. So if anybody is having the same issue on Roblox, please message me or throw it in the chat. My daughter freaking loves it and she can't play it. But speaking of, so Shopify here, it seems like a random price, but it closed at $119.90. So where it's battling right now is essentially red to green, as you can see by the percentage up there. If it loses this battle, this prior high, I know it's VWAP, but I'm kind of focused on that prior close. If you lose the battle underneath that, I want to jump out. It's been a pretty mixed day for Shopify, right? Like the earnings came out, it dumped, it came all the way back, tried to break out the top, now it's diddling in the middle. If it loses underneath the prior close, then I think I got to wait for another bottom. So I'm going to give it a tight stop in here off that mean reversion. It's trend in, trend out. So I caught it in a downward trend on Shop. So just moving my stop from the break even to underneath this prior bar high, which would be the 119.25. We lose that, I'm jumping out of Shop. Still want to get back in if AIFF is going to let us, and that's Firefly. It opened back after that downward halt. Still kind of diddling in here. It's above $5. Hasn't really pressed lower. The volume and volatility not nearly as big as on the way up. You're starting to see it drop down. When that happens, I'd rather be a little bit more patient catching VWAP. In the opening rush, you want to make sure you can get in. But now we want to be way more patient with this. Alibaba, I don't know what to tell you with Alibaba. It's still not doing anything. So the chance to get back in a third time on Alibaba, it's stopped moving. And now 20, 30 cent ranges here in Baba. when before it was just moving dollars at a time. So yeah, patience definitely required with Alibaba. Shop holding nicely. AIFF still looking pretty good. The other one I was trying to pay attention to, of course, was Intel, which was powering higher. Just made a wick high at 2110. Had my trend line, and I'm like, I'm going to short it. Then I remembered, let it get to 2150. So it's not there yet. I'm not going to jump into it. That's what I did last time on Intel. And if it takes all afternoon to get to 2150 or never gets there, fine. But that's the level. Stock's up 6%. If you're going to short it, you should short it on your terms.
Yeah, I was just messaging there. Yeah, I want to say thank you to everybody about that 500,000. We crushed 500,000 subscribers today, and right now we only have 9,500 watching, but I want to thank everybody for all of that. So thank you again. Like, subscribe. That's not going to be the right like account. Oh, yeah, I guess I have to refresh it. Okay, we'll refresh that and we'll get that like account in just 1 minute, but make sure you do hit it. Wow, what? All right, I'm just going to show it anyways as we run this ad. 2.7K likes as well. Wow. Thank you so much for that. That might be, not going to be a record, but that is pretty close to that. We click on here and I'll just show you right there. It is 500,000 subscribers. We want to thank everybody for making this happen for us. And again, we've already made that promise to you to keep on going. And so we are obviously going to be doing that one as well. So, all right, thanks everybody for that. I think Apple at some point is going to be a short. We might have already seen, you could get a little bit of a retracement. With the NASDAQ trying to go green potentially here, I'm not sure the short is the right play, but yeah, Apple just absolutely blowing up on that Alibaba news. So that's a good move there. Did we get at those 05s on Uber? Yes, we did. Okay, so Uber's now, we've already gotten them. So Uber's now into the 10s right here. It's a 10-cent win. I'm going to get out of 5% now if we can at 09, and then we'll wait for a little bit higher. I think the 200 period is always something that's interesting there. That's 14s. Like to get a little, okay, there we go. We get the 9s now as we break through. But 24, 25. All right, let's put something in and around 15s. We'll get out of a little bit more shares if we can break through that and let this one go. So here's Uber. We talked about the plan of action. It is a slow grind, that is for sure. Wishing it was a little bit quicker. Talk about quicker stocks. We can go over to one that we've really been friends with since it's split for sure. And even pre-split, we were trading it a lot as well. But NVIDIA trying to hold fort today, up 0.2%. Great dip into the 200 period moving average, that's for sure. That's the trade. So I'm using e-signal scanners. I want to make sure that we haven't done the ad yet, but we can do that anytime, I guess. But there it is right now. Oh, I don't have my earpiece in. That's hilarious. I see Ramin talking to me and I'm like, wait a second. Why don't I hear anything? Well, with that said, let's just do it right now then. Okay, on the fly, the e-signal, make sure you do scan that QR code below. Sorry about that, Ramin, I did have it. I went and got coffees and it disconnected, so I took it out. But okay, scan that QR code there. And the best part about this is you get 1 month free. I was just about to show you all of the scanners that are used. I think the fact that it's so customizable. Sure, it's not like it's a life-changing experience. What it is reliable data. You can chart the VIX. You could like any of these exchanges there. You want to talk about the OTC markets, futures contracts. There's many different platforms out there, quite frankly, where you can't chart the futures without extreme entitlement fees. Get this 1 month right there on eSignal. See if you like it. The back testing has changed the game for me. And here's like a real life scanner right now. It's showing me real life, like we're live, but Affirm, Microsoft, Google, all hitting different parameters that I've set up here as well. Google, JP Morgan. And as you can see by many of the names in here, Affirm, JP Morgan, Roblox, Oracle, ARM, Softy, Texas Instruments. This is a curated list. So I've already got a curated list here that I put in 50 or so symbols that we look at every single day, or I do. And then also, by the way, good out on Uber there as it's fallen back in now. And then this is the hot list. This is the trade rate. So you can, again, today, we don't see Apple on here too much, but it's buzzing. So Apple, Upside, NVIDIA, Palantir, Tesla, Schwab. Good story there from Adara as well. Are we going to Adara?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I put it in my ear, but did not log in.
Yeah, I forgot.
There's a lot of questions here about the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, the CFPB, that has been writing the questions, something market related, but just a quick update there. Powell is still answering questions. But this sector board here actually really flat, mirroring what we're seeing with the market. Both S&P 500 and NASDAQ just slightly red. Also slightly red are some of these sectors. Health technology, a little red. Finance, getting hit a little bit harder here. The Charles Schwab is up, as mentioned. TD selling their position in the company, which yesterday sold it off. Today it seems to be pushing higher. And once we have that pricing, utilities slightly red as well. Technology services actually pretty red here. Adobe, IBM strong. Everything else a little bit to the downside. Then we have electronic technology, which is being propelled here seemingly only by Intel and Apple. Intel up for reasons unknown. Apple up here on reports from the information that it will be working with Alibaba for AI integration for its iPhones. So good look here for electronic tech and for, or I guess for Apple here. The rest of this market, though, a little bit weaker with the exception of energy minerals, guys. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Adair. Appreciate you. So I just got out. Wow. Okay, let me forget about Shopify for a second. Firefly going into an up halt. I just had to throw the black chart up here because I was on a different chart.
Again?
It's going into another up halt at $5.70. So that just like 2 seconds ago, I was about to mention Shopify, and there goes Firefly Neuroscience on the watch list. 84% to the upside, that stock, as I know Sharif is going to be excited for it. It's done 69 million shares today, which is pretty intense. So it was a trend in, trend out on Shop. It broke the downtrend from the high at 25. I've zoomed out too far now. And then could not hold above the prior close, which is 120. So when it trailed out there, I'll be ready to get back in if it retests the 114 area. So we scalped it one time here on Shopify. Yeah, kind of a missed opportunity, I think, for a second salvo into Firefly. Like, it doesn't actually pull back into VWAP there, breaking out those highs. I'm not punching any highs on this stock. I think looking for the dip and retrace is the way to go. We were just a little bit too patient with it. AMD is on one, Mike Davis, as is Intel. This was just said for reasons unknown. So AMD, it's almost there. Almost there. 112 is where this actually pulled back rather heavily a few days ago.
Powell said
That's
what?
where I'd look for the reversion there. I just heard in my ear, Powell said we're not in a recession.
Oh, okay. Who?
You think?
I thought he said we're nearing a recession. I'm like, hold on a second here. Like, let's, yeah. What
Captain Obvious.
Yeah, let's make sure that that's not happening.
I could tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I thought. I thought he was like changing course there for a second. S&P 500 and the NASDAQ and all blast city right now. Looks like the ES is trying to get green, only down 0.02. That's a matter of time before that happens. It's crazy that the only long I'm sitting in is Uber, and obviously that's not going up, so that's crazy. The NASDAQ is going, and then it's Alibaba's world, and we're all living in it. 115 breaker on Alibaba as that just continues to blast higher. And so does my number one trade of the day that we get out at the lows for Apple. As there it goes. Should have got back in on that break right there. All right, Powell's just saying that they've experienced a soft landing, so okay. And on that note, we can see what's doing with Boeing right now. So 180 for Boeing.
Ouch. That was kind of a subtle dig at Boeing.
That was all right. I mean, we're raising the level now, you know, like it's all coming really flowing in there, you know, dropping those little things there. But yeah, Boeing's not doing anything. But I don't mind Boeing coming through this 182 area if it breaks on the daily. I only thought about it because.
Look at that setup on Boeing right now.
Yeah, trying to break the 200 period.
Flush, the opening, flush off the open. Yeah. I don't know why I have a line drawn at 180. I must have had it like for other reasons, but. Double top, triple top. Why did I have 180? See, now I'm interested because why do I have this is why I had 180 drawn on Boeing for this day, and then it held it as support. Why not a 180 break on Boeing? But maybe 180.33. It's a good level on Boeing. Kind of a Freudian slip or just accidental there. So maybe
no,
Boeing
not accidental at all. But I had no idea about the chart.
Yeah,
okay, we do have a breaking news. I hope it's not on Starbucks. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, more details here on that soft landing comment. So Jerome Powell did not say they were in a soft landing. I repeat, he did not say that. He was asked by a senator, are we in a soft landing? And he said no. Senator said, are we in a hard landing? Jerome Powell said no. Then he said, are we in a recession? Jerome Powell once again said no, at which point Jerome Powell concluded that it's not for him to say if this is a soft landing, but it's not a hard landing. So I just want to give some clarification. Jerome Powell did not, in fact, say that we have experienced a soft landing. I just wanted to give some clarity, just given the fact that that was said earlier there, guys. I'm not seeing anything on Starbucks.
Yeah, Starbucks, yeah, there it is right there. Not for me to say if we've experienced a soft landing, but it's not a hard one.
But
so it is just a landing.
You're only the head of
They've landed, and, there is new news about the landing. And, it is.
You're only the most influential.
Yeah, as long as you got the right protection, you got your helmet on and a seatbelt.
Always
and all of that. Okay, so actually, funny story here.
Right.
We were talking about Uber using this as the bottom. And unfortunately, when it broke 90, for some reason, my order snapped out. So we just bought it right back on Uber. But our average price, I think, was 97 or something. So now we have a better price of 88, but that doesn't matter. We essentially took the loss there, which is, I told you, the hard part about all of this is trying to always explain like where our average prices are and whatnot. But that's just what happened there. The stop is now put back in here at this level. So we're going to wait to see if Starbucks does break if Uber does break that. So from one American company to the other. The Starbucks news was that there was a racial... something in Missouri there about someone filed something against Starbucks. I don't see it on Benzinga, but it was just briefly in my ear. That's why I did drop that, but I did hear that. It doesn't look like there's anything happening with Starbucks. No immediate volume spike and not even hitting Benzinga. So I thought Starbucks, forget about any of the news. I was just looking at this as being well away right now from the 50-period moving average. And nice move back in is possible there on Starbucks on any kind of bad news. I feel like this will retrace pretty hard, but I don't necessarily want to go short. I think if you are playing this name, maybe with puts, hoping that you get an aggressive move to the downside. So, that's about it for me right now. We'll just continue to do what we're doing here, which I believe is waiting for Starbucks, watching Apple. I do think there's going to be an SMCI trade at some point here today. Just kind of waiting for it to get back into this level, $40. We'll see if it can hold that recent bottom of 39.80. So SMCI on my mind here for sure.
Yeah, Firefly's open back up. AMD is also at 112. So AMD 112 is the earnings resistance. So it dropped on earnings. The next day it made a 112 top. Yesterday it tried to press into it and faded. So we're patient with it. There hasn't been a red candle yet on the 15-minute chart. I'll zoom it in so you can see. It's got a secondary upward trend since making this higher low. So if it breaks that trend, we're now at 112, and we'll look for the short there. AIFF, Firefly, continues to be the rocket. If it's not Baba and Apple, this is kind of like that big, strong stock that was actually, those weren't on the watch list. We didn't know there were going to be a story, Apple and Alibaba, until it happened live. But AIFF, another failed break on those halts. Next time it dips, we're going to look for that dip to 5 and try to catch this one more time here on AIFF. But it could go into a down halt before it gets to that support level. Already a couple of halts here to the upside.
All right, wow. Okay. This is pretty good, I would say, so far. Uber. We just got a huge, again, not huge move up, but nice for me. Like, that was a good move there. We just got more out. You have to hit out like we've seen Uber do this before and then fall. Uber before, fall. Like, here's some out of nowhere. Buy, fall. Buy, fall, buy. Like, this is just doing it, so we have to get it out. I feel like you're going to hear Kathy or somebody came in today, and we know that Bill Ackman's in this name. I feel like there's some buyers here today on Uber. Every time it falls, and then the support is gone, and then it just drifts right back in again. So I am not, if these buyers were not here, it's only really had, look at this even today. Downside hits the bottom, up, down, but then even then, since then, one candle, basically, one candle. This is a little bit of a continuation, and that's one candle again. So I don't know. I'm happy shorting Uber right now. I'm happy fading these pops and trying to get out. Uber still a positive name for me today. We're up on Uber trading today, but it is definitely a slippery slope. Wish that was not the case. I'm seeing Mara hitting. Nah. Okay, so Mara coming up on a scanner here. It's not, I just looked at it on the chart. I think it must have been a day high scanner there, yeah. So right there. Again, you can.
Intel high a day as well.
Adara, I know Adara's all over this. And
7% now on Intel.
Okay, no, I was going to say it's just on Intel. So
Intel's a rocket.
I know Adara's been over this. We've looked at it. We cannot. You come over to the chart, Ramin, maybe. We have no idea what's going on, but Intel just boom right there. Let us know in the chat if you find anything. Adara has been looking, so we do appreciate that. And I know some of you are mentioning Intel, and as of right now, we don't really have an answer for you.
It'll be
more outs though on Uber as we go higher.
I'm guessing this is one of those. We'll find out later what was driving it. You know, and
there's probably rumor. They're probably going to announce a new CEO, and of course, because the market isn't rigged, nobody knows about it.
Or an activist investor or someone who
right.
file 13F. There's going to be something along those lines the next couple of days. This doesn't happen to a stock that's down this far without there being something.
I mean, again, they've been releasing some new chips. We do know that it is like an America First play for sure. That's why I bought it. I got that little inside intel from my 22-year-old who was like, you know what, Intel chips, and he's in AI, like he is in venture capitalists and all this stuff. So, and he values AI companies. New AI technologies. So he was telling me, you know what, Intel for the price, what they're putting out isn't horrible. Obviously, it's not a high-performance GPU.
GFS popped this morning on earnings.
Okay, but what are they holding on that right now?
Well, it's also it could just be sympathy on the foundry and. Like GFS, Global Foundries, is actually up. And it could just be like a sympathy foundry play because GFS popped on earnings this morning. So it could be that, look, we're getting really, really close to a reversion on AMD. It's at those highs along with Intel, but we're going right back over to Adara at the desk.
Before we get to money talks, I did look again on Intel, and I mentioned earlier I thought it might have to do with the fact that JD Vance reportedly is trying to get these, as reported again by the Wall Street Journal, he's trying to tell other countries to be light with their AI regulations. From what I'm seeing on social media, that actually might be the catalyst. People are saying specifically because he's focusing on AI semiconductor manufacturing, American semiconductor manufacturing. Intel is a very big Made in America brand. So it really, from what I can tell, the catalyst might be, or at least is related to, the fact that JD Vance did say that he wants to emphasize this less regulation for AI or for chip plays in other countries. So I think that is of note. And based on what I'm seeing on social media, other than a couple comments on a potential CEO move, it does seem to be the JD Vance report. On to money talks. We have the dollar basically at low of days here. We're running now 2 days in a row into resistance at 108 halves. We have Fed Chair Powell. He's still talking. But let's talk about comments from Fed's Hammock, because we had those coming in too. She said here, Fed's Hammock, who, in case you missed it, she's actually the newer Fed member. She replaced Fed Mester. She's saying basically that the Fed will be evaluating these Trump economic and trade policies as they come in, but that she doesn't actually have rate hikes in her base case. So no rate hikes on the horizon right now for Fed's Hammock. And again, with regards to Intel, it does seem to be the JD Vance emphasis on other countries not having heavy AI regulation, guys.
All right, yeah, so it could be it. I mean, thanks, Adara, for that, as we'll keep on waiting for those reports. There are talks in the chat, of course, that they released a new processor. They've been doing that, so we'll wait to see. I mean, and sometimes there are late reports and late movement in stock. We'll wait. Only 4 minutes to go. Tisha was asking for you, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
Is Sharif in the building trading today? Yes, he is. So we will get. You better believe that. And he's
copying my look today.
These guys are not stopping. They're really excited here today. So we are getting ready to rock and roll with the Midday Madness show. Joe and Sharif. Tons of stuff happening right now in small cap land. So get ready for that. Amazon, just take a little dumpy here as the market may be going to the downside maybe, but Amazon, I don't know what just happened. We just broke the 200 period moving average. Amazon downside, down 0.5%. Can we hold these levels? I would hope so, but right now, I don't know, as it is trying to get a little low now on Amazon on that dip down there. I thought the market was going to go there. Not much happening right now for Amazon. So yeah, what's up to Charlie? Look, yesterday, I was trading this during Neil's recap show. We had the short in Tesla yesterday. We were talking about this play. Now Tesla is absolutely getting destroyed. Down 3% right now, down $10 on the day. And going lower and not looking good, man. Not having a good time today is Tesla. It's kind of embarrassing, but we missed the short by like 50 cents both times right there. And we unfortunately weren't looking at it there, but that view up was a great one again. Look, trading, we talked about the lessons of the day. We do this, we do that. Those are all great to actually listen to and try to understand. But realistically, you got to have the trade on. It's easy to look back. Trading is hindsight. Like we can look back and say, well, hey guys, fade to VWAP. Like when there's a gap, play to VWAP. But unless you have the trade on, that's a tough one. So there you go. It is a move back. It's nervous, and what I'm saying by that is like, we can look at Shopify and say, oh, go long, or do this, or do that, and whatever. Oh, wow, you're right about Shopify, went down to that 115 area. But at the end of the day, it's like, you got to put the trade on. Neil was in Shopify. Like, you got to put the trade on and try certain things, because if you just talk about it, that's one thing. Actually putting it on is another. So shout out, and the reason why I say that is Charlie, and there's some traders in the chat there that are still holding shorts from yesterday. So congratulations to that. You have to be in the trade to enjoy that move, and some of you are. So congratulations. I think it's getting close, though. We had talked about a buy opportunity. Tesla's getting destroyed this year, man. It's down this year.
320 looks good on the daily.
Not great.
320. No, it's actually lower, sorry.
Yeah, 260 is this period moving average there. But at the end of the day, I think right here is getting pretty good, man. Tesla, and a lot of people liked it, man. It was the pick here. I think it was Brendan's pick going forward. It has gotten killed to the downside, Tesla. So let's hope that we can get a little bit of a break here and find a buyer, man. I don't like him talking about TikTok, talking about this, look, he can do whatever he wants, but at the end of the day, they're OpenAI, TikTok. It seems to get a little bit away from just Tesla.
Get focused.
And I wonder, that's what I think. I wonder if there's a lot of investors right now that are like, maybe this dude's not focused. I guarantee you he is, but at the end of the day, this is what people talk about, right? So, it definitely does not help the.
We're going to get to the super chat in 1 second. By the way, Firefly, which I'm just going to point out.
Joe.
Firefly, which was here it is on our watch list. And at the time, gapping up on that NVIDIA Connect program news, 34% is what it was this morning. It's now up 119.68%, which I can say precisely because I'm looking at it on the chart. Halted at now 680. This stock is going absolutely ham. It's out of control. The dips aren't even. Like, it's not really even dipping anymore on the daily. I know it's 11 o'clock. We'll get over to the midday in a quick little second here, but there's not much to look at on this daily chart. It's now blown through almost all the resistance. Like 950 on the chart maybe is coming in next. We have a missed opportunity not being in this one a second time, but the day isn't over, and I can hear them salivating over there. I know the Midday boys are going to be on this one when it opens up. Should be a 5-minute halt like always, which means it'll be open in about 2 minutes. We'll be back at 2 o'clock for the afternoon and the aftermarket, which has a host of earnings after.
Oh yeah, we're excited for that.
It's going to be a wild one with Brian Shannon, but let's get on over to the Bash Brothers. We've got Sharif, we've got Joey Options. Go get them.
Meta for some reason.
Let's see if I can pull it up.
There it is. What is up, beautiful people?
Welcome
to How to Trade During the Midday. That is your boy Joey Options, and I'm Sharif, and I'm dressed a little bit like Neil today, so everything is good there. Just want to shout out everybody. Had a nice